is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down. Aiming for greatness, no settling. Kick down the doors, they won't let me in.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Phil Porto, and I got an overlay on my face right now. That's crazy. Let's try this again. Here we go. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Phil Porto, aka Phil All Caps, aka That's the Spirit, aka that one guy who likes the Knicks way too much. And I am here today with my guys. Both hosts will be here with me, Mr. Al from Harlem and Mr. Guard Up Knicks Apollo Reed himself. And I'm excited because we are going to be joined by a brand that I have truly enjoyed for years by the name of Barrel. Barrel Craft Spirits, Barrel Bourbon. Look at these bottles. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely incredible juice on the inside. And we got a lot to talk about. So while I lock us into StreamYard, I'm going to straight up bring up these two guys so they can just tell you how they're doing. So let's bring up Mr. Apollo Reed. Apollo Reed, how you doing, my guy? Let's tell
good, man. I'm good. I was teasing you in the chat because you know, I always make the rookie mistake, so I kind of like to have a little get back every now and then. But yeah, man, I'm doing pretty good. Life's been, kicking my behind as everybody else's. You know, I mean, these gas prices are ridiculous. Driving a truck. So yeah, man, it's pretty detrimental to my gas tank, Mr. Trump. So relax. But anyway,
that's a name I don't really want to speak about right now.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna you know. And,
but anyway, outside of my gas tank, everything's been pretty good.
Yep. And speaking of, Mr. Carbon Intellect said peace and abundance to Phil, Apollo, and Al. Peace and abundance. Part of the reason I don't want to talk about said name that was brought up before. So without further ado, as I stream to my other Instagram account, I'm going to bring up Mr. Al from Harlem. How's it going, Al? Let people know how you doing, bro.
Yo. What up, fellas? What up?
Yo.
So
how's your week been, bro?
It's been good. This is my first week back at work from paternity leave. So it's been a little different. The crazy thing is I was expecting them to have like work lined up for me, and it's been kind of a slow drag. So I'm not going to complain about it right now, but definitely driving more than I used to these past 2 months. So feeling the gas prices as well.
Yeah. So isn't it kind of crazy? I'll bring us all back up. Isn't it kind of crazy that like they give you a time where they're like, we need you back by this. And then you get there and there's not a single thing for you to do. It's like,
no. And then the other thing is, like, we have a ton of work. And I'm like, I get there and I'm like, yo, you had 2 months to figure out, like, if that was me, this person coming off paternity leave, they would have been slammed. Like, here's a packet of papers this big, chop, get to work. Like, yo, they haven't done that to me. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. They'd be like, haha, you thought you had it off. Here's the work, like I would have been straight to it already. But I'm glad you guys are doing well. Man, a few days have been crazy. I apologize to all y'all. I'm keeping it like mad comfortable with y'all. Okay. I came from my son's practice right before came here. So it was great. It was great. So that's why I'm eating my hamburger right now in front of y'all. Eating my cheeseburger. All right. No bun. I'm on that carnivore life. All right. So let's jump right into it. All right. Good news for us right now. The Hawks are leading the Cavs. So we're going to continue to hope that the Hawks can take it to the Cavs so that puts some space in between us and them for the seed that we're currently in. Because we've talked about it before. We definitely don't want to fall in the seeding. Just because I feel like where we're at right now, we got the Raptors. Like, I feel like I couldn't ask for a better situation for us in that first round. So if the Cavs beat us, if the Cavs win this game and we by chance lose against Boston and they win their last game, then we actually will have the Hawks instead of the Raptors. And me personally, I'd rather take on the Raptors than take on the Hawks in the first series of 7. So we'll see. We'll see. But let's talk about what we saw in the last few games. The first one was kind of cake. And it's funny because it seems like this team just took a drastic downfall. Like you ever seen the movie Billy Madison? When there's that one dude, O'Doyle, and he's always like causing drama, and he's like, O'Doyle rules, and like Billy Madison's like, O'Doyle, I feel like your family's gonna like come crashing down sometime, and then they like fall off a cliff. That's the scene for these guys right now. Like this team has seriously fallen down the freaking hill, which is crazy because they were playing so well in the early half of the season with their ball movement, with their skill sets. They trade some really good players, and then all of a sudden the Bulls are just mediocre at best, not even getting a play-in spot as of right now. And I don't think that they can. The Bulls are done. Like, there's no way for them to get a play-in spot. So let's talk about that Chicago Bulls game. We destroyed them 136-96. So what is there actually really to talk about? But we put belt to behind. So what are your guys' thoughts on that game? I'll go to you first, Apollo Reed.
I mean, I think that game was it was fun to see these guys get back acclimated to the way that they're supposed to be playing for a couple games, because of course it was against the Bulls, but OG like was that the game he was dunking everything? I think that was the game he was going crazy that game.
Yeah, 31.
Yeah. He had 31 that game. So I mean, it was good to see them do what they had to do against that kind of team at that time. At this time of year, it seems like they're trying to make sure that they keep, like you said earlier, that position of being third. They don't want to fall back too far and run into the Hawks. But yeah, man, it was good to see them take care of business against teams that they're supposed to. I would have wished for Jalen to have a better game. That game he was a little off, which was weird. But yeah, man, glad we got the dub by like 40.
Yep.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right, Al, what was your thoughts? And then I'll give mine on that Chicago game. Keep it simple.
So this game came on the heels of there being a lot of chatter amongst us and the Twitter streets when Jalen Brunson missed the Memphis game, and the team was just sharing the ball, and we destroyed Memphis. So then fast forward to this game, we were saying like how we hope that Jalen Brunson paid attention to the game. Oh, and Mikal Bridges said all those things after the Memphis game. So we were hoping that the message got through to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
And I think it looked like it did, because he had 10 assists. The ball was moving a lot that game. Our high scorer was Anunoby, but Mitchell Robinson also had 17 points. So it looked like they were playing the same style of basketball as they were playing in the Memphis game, which was good to see, and it showed in the results. So that was my big takeaway. The other thing that I just wanted to throw out there was Mitchell Robinson went 3 for 4 at the line, which is something I'm always watching, because in the playoffs, these teams there's 3 things that teams are going to do to us in the playoffs. They're either going to play the Josh Hart defense, they're going to play the anyone but Jalen Brunson defense and just form a wall around Jalen Brunson and dare everyone else to kill us. Or if they've run out of hope and they're hopeless, they do the hack a Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the 3 things that are going to happen. And if we could just start mitigating those now, we'd be in good shape.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, one of the standouts for that game, first, Cat was a DNP on that game. So for me, it was exciting to see that we didn't play down to the competition, that we didn't get comfortable at the end of the season when we need these games. And one thing I'll say to what you were saying, Al, about us in the Memphis game, I just think it's so funny how certain people on Twitter, pick and choose when certain things matter. when we're talking about the Memphis game and we're saying, man, we would like to see this happen. Like I showed y'all in the feed, all those people with the comments. They're like, yo, bro, it's Memphis. Are you
Just
kidding
Memphis.
me? They're not even a playoff team. And those same people are ranting and raving about how great it was to see how we played against Chicago. And I'm like, wait a minute. How can one game not matter because they're not a playoff team, but then all of a sudden this game matters? It fits your narrative. And I was like, it's just ridiculous because for me, I don't care who we're playing. How we play is what matters. And so that's what I saw in the Memphis game, and that's what I saw in this game as well, which made me excited. Like you said, Jalen Brunson finding a way to still be effective when his shot is not falling the way that it needs to is the same thing that I said about Cat. When Cat found a way to produce with the rebounds when he wasn't scoring, that's what makes you a star, not how many buckets you can put up in the playoffs, because that's great if you put up buckets. But if we still lose and we don't make it to the finals, I don't really care how many points you averaged that game or that playoff series. And so seeing Jalen Brunson being able to say, my shot's off, it's this guy's night, and actually allow it to be that guy's night and not try to overcompensate for the missed shots in the fourth, that was beautiful, beautiful basketball. Seeing OG Anunoby have this kind of game right before the playoffs should be one of the most confident building things for us as a New York Knicks fan. Because what have we said? We can't win with just Cat and Brunson. Like, we can't beat a lot of these teams if only they show up in these games. We need the rest of our starters to contribute. And so seeing OG come to himself in that game and kind of get that boost, like, yeah, I do still got this. I still can do this. Going into the playoffs, I feel like that's going to fuel the fire for him going into the playoffs. So I was excited about that. I was also excited to see Mitchell Robinson being more than just the rebound guy, because I feel like it's going to fuel him in games in the playoffs that we need him to take the basket and take the rebound and put it back up. Like if we play some of these teams that we might see, such as Cleveland or even the Sixers at some point, to be able to have Mitch feeling offensively confident to put the ball back into the basket and seeing how many guys are looking for him this part of the season is so confident, so confident boosting for me as a Knicks fan. And then lastly, something that really stood out to me is that we didn't allow anybody on their team to really go off. Seeing that we were able to play defense against Josh Giddey and keep him 3 for 12 from the night with only 6 points, and keeping Buzelis to just 11 points, like their whole points came off the bench with Sexton. And so being able to see that we can lock down their starting lineup like that. Yes, it's still the Bulls, but still those guys have offensive bags. Like they are still talented and gifted offensively. So being able to see us lock that down was exciting for me. And like I've always said, 30 assists or more, and these Knicks win. We had 30 assists again. That's always going to be a number that I bank on. So I was excited to see how we played sacrificially in that game. Like I said, Mitch and OG were the offensive juggernauts of the night. And rebounding was incredible by Josh Hart. You got to give it to Josh Hart with 11 rebounds. Once again, maybe not contributing offensively, but we need rebounds. In the playoffs, rebounds can help us win games. So those were my thoughts on that game. Anything that you saw that kind of was like, ooh, I hope we don't do that in the playoffs? I'll go to you first this time, Al.
I didn't notice anything in that game, but I did notice that Sohan was a plus minus 30. Somehow he was a plus 30. That was crazy. I thought we got good minutes from everyone. I like that he played everyone so that he could see, if we have to, in a pinch, if we have to go to Sochan, how can we best leverage him? Where's he at? I'm sure they've been coaching him up. Like those things were good to see.
Yeah.
So no negatives that I can recall.
What about you, Apollo?
In a game where you win by that many points, there wasn't much that I could really point out that we don't do. like you mentioned, Sochan, like it looks like they were definitely working on his form with his free throw, which is a good sign. You know, that was something that I was really concerned with because his form is really jacked up.
It's
You know what I
nasty.
mean?
Yeah,
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So
it's broken.
it's bad, man.
Oh,
But you know, they've been working with him, and you know, it looked good and it looked consistent. So shout out to our staff, been working with Mitch and this guy now, you know, making big strides.
Yeah, I agree. Sohan was really a standout performance. He was actually the only player in that game to have a positive like number in every single stat. When it came to he had 8 rebounds in 16 minutes, so that's pretty incredible. Like 2 rebounds. I mean, every 2 minutes you have a rebound. He had an assist, he had a steal, he had a block. Like that's why he's the plus minus, because he was, you know, in every single category in such a short period of time, which was really good to see, because that's the kind of guy we're going to need some minutes from in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you know, someone that
I think situationally,
just wear somebody down. Like if your whole thing is to frustrate that offensive player, like he's one of those guys that if Cade starts cooking, put him on Cade for a few minutes. You know, like make Cade work. Especially with Cade coming back from an injury, make them work. I will say it is kind of crazy to see that in the last 10 games, they've won 7 and lost 3. Like they're still thriving without Cade.
I know.
They're still thriving without him. Their other players are stepping up and coming into themselves, which is kind of crazy going into the playoffs. Right now, they are winning against the Bucks. The Bucks are nothing right now because they're not even letting Giannis play, but they got like a 20-point lead right now at the half.
And they haven't given any updates on Cade, right?
He's supposed to come back.
No,
his next
came
game.
back tonight. I think he's already back tonight. I think I saw. Did I see that?
Let's see.
Hold on.
He might.
Hold on. I think I saw it says Cade was.
Oh yeah, he did come back.
Yeah, he's back.
He played 13 minutes. Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep. So Cade's back. They're playing against the Bucks. Shout out to Jericho Sims being a point center. If you guys have seen it on Twitter, have you seen it at all?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, hold on. Oh man,
don't tell me you went coast to coast.
Listen, man. Every time I see Jericho, I can't like erase the ripped 50 that he had in the dunk contest. It's just like
that was just horrible. But you gotta see this. You gotta see this. Oh, this is a different play. This is actually from right now, in this game. So let me share the screen, because this happened last night and it was all over, and now it's showing that it happened again right now. So all right. Can you guys see it?
Barely.
Yeah, I'm watching. I can see it.
Oh, yeah, see it now.
Oh.
Hey,
oh,
excuse me.
Oh,
straight at
okay,
dirty, bro.
Yo, like, behind the back right here, boom, crossover, spin.
Wait. Hold on.
Crazy.
The rebound into the full court play. My man took it all the way
Here's a better
up.
angle of it.
Yo, that was crazy.
All right, ready? Boom, cross, in body, turn. What?
Yeah.
Are you serious? You know what we could have done with that? Oh, this was the one that looked yesterday. Ready? Here we go.
Nah, yo,
so he's just chilling. Oh, cross. Oh, look at that. What?
Yo, they're really trying to turn him into Giannis. Like, what is going on here?
Yo,
it's crazy. Like, that's crazy to watch that. Right, like, I was so ecstatic to see that. Like, I was seriously floored, bro. Like, so freaking floored to see Jericho Sims, like the guy that couldn't get Tom Thibodeau minutes, is now like spin moving.
You know that people are waiting to say that. Like, look what Tom Thibodeau had on the bench. Like, he was not that back then, guys. Please don't. Please don't go there.
Shout out to Hakeem the Dream 3298.
I wanted to say something about that comment.
OG is the best and most important player on the team. What are your thoughts, Apollo?
So like a lot of people would be like, "Yo, he's bugging," right? But like, nah, that's a lot what a lot of people will say. But naturally, like if you look at like the NBA in general, like the best players in the NBA are naturally or normally wings. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And especially guys of OG stature. So like these last couple games, like the 31 that he had, I think he had like 20 something versus the Hawks. Like that's the kind of OG we need to have more consistently. You know what I mean? And that's why sometimes I get frustrated when he has those games when he puts out like 6 points. It's like,
Yeah,
nah, man, like I need you to get active like that way more often because you could really be dangerous if you just play this aggressive all the time. Like, and he's been dunking everything. I don't know if you guys been noticing
Yeah.
this year. He's been dunking
yeah.
everything.
He
It's
leads
kind
the
of
team to
crazy.
dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I'll say to his defense. It's like when the offense is so stagnant,
Mhm.
like we've seen in some games, and the ball's not moving like last night, it's hard for a player whose second best skill set is his offense to then all of a sudden turn it on when he's given the ball late in the like quarter when he hasn't touched it all game, you know? So I got to give some grace because like I said, when the
Yeah,
ball moves is when you see the best OG and the best McHale
that's a fact.
offensively because they're at least part of it. Even if they're just touching to then pass it to somebody else, they're moving, they're feeling like the groove of the offense. But when it's ISO, 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 now we're behind, we're going to include other people, and they have no shots for the last 5 minutes. Of course, it's going to be dink, 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 like let it rain, like along came Paulie scene. Like that's going to happen. But when you actually include them, you're doing yourself a service as the New York Knicks because now these guys are in their element. That's why I'm excited to see that have happened in the last 2 games going into the playoffs because this is what I've been begging for all freaking season, So now's the good time to at least we're seeing it. But we also have to go, okay, the last time we saw it was without Brunson. And then when we saw it in that game, it
There was
was
no
without
Cat.
Cat. Like, will it still happen with the Cat and Brunson combo? That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm really, really hoping will happen. This is a crazy take. I don't know if I believe this. Brunson is
Yeah.
remembered as the Knicks, especially as the
You
number
got-
one option. So this is what I'll say. If we don't make
There's
it
a
to
number.
Yo, that's crazy.
here's looking at you, kid. I think that if we don't make it to the finals, we do go for Giannis this summer. And if Giannis comes, Brunson has to be the number 2. Like,
Oh yes.
I think that's the only way it's ever going to work.
Maybe that's what he meant. Maybe that's what he meant. But
So if that's what you meant, but if you're just like, oh, they're going to
No,
kick him
you
out,
say it is numbered as a Nick.
yeah, I don't know about that.
better watch your back in them Twitter streets, boy.
For real,
Hakeem, they gonna get you. They
for real,
gonna
that's
get
one
you,
of those
man.
things that even if you think it, like you don't say
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you don't say
it.
We're looking out for you, bro. We're looking out for you.
Yeah, for real.
Bro.
Keep
I
keep
respect
keep
it,
your
though.
face out
I
of your
respect
Abbey. That's the safest thing to do in these streets.
That's
But
funny.
anyway, all right. So I'm excited. Like I told you guys, today is another where's my media? Flight night. All right. So we will be going through 4 samples. At least me and Al. Apollo lives too far. We got these bottles.
Apollo's is gonna sit with us.
We got these too late in the game to get them to North Carolina. So I apologize. You will get these samples though, so you can actually taste what we've tasted. But this is a brand.
It's a running theme.
No, you had 3 of the 4 for the Blue Note.
I'm messing with you.
All right. So this is a brand right here. All right. Barrel bourbon, barrel craft spirits. And as a whiskey creator, this is a brand that I have really enjoyed. I've gotten to do, some reviews of their releases, like their Vantage. And, just being able to see this brand continue to put out good whiskey after good whiskey is exciting. They are a very innovative brand. And what's cool about it is I feel like there's something for everybody when it comes to your whiskey palate. And so we're going to go through 4 variations. I will say straight up, my heart is broken. There was one bottle that I was dying to review on this show, and it didn't come. But the other 4 are bangers. But if you guys see the toasted dovetail out there, I've heard nothing but amazing stuff. So pick it up. I really was hoping as I opened that box, that's the one request I made to the guy that connected us. I was like, if you could please give me a toasted dovetail, I'll just do 1 bottle all night. I don't think of that. So anyway, but I'm excited to talk with one of their guys, Barrel Brett. And he's going to come up. We're going to go through these. We're going to find out about who these guys are, what they do, what sets them apart. Shout out to my guy, New York State of Mind. Perfect timing, bro. Appreciate you. Much love. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up Brett. And this is the brand right here. Whoop, that didn't really work. I'm going to pull it up right there. Boom. Barrel Craft Spirits. I will be posting the link in the chat for you guys to check them out. But listen to these tasting notes from these 4 bottles because they're very, very different. Price points are very different. And I'm sure you will find something that you like. So without further ado, here is Barrel Brett.
Thank you.
How you doing?
First and foremost, apologies, Apollo, that you
right hat on.
you don't
Let's
have a
go.
sampler to kind of go with us, but we'll make do in the future for you.
No problem, man. It's Phil. It's Phil. I'm getting that Phil. No problem. It's okay.
It's all right. It's all right. I took you from not tasting whiskey ever to having some of the best bottles on your shelf, but blame Phil. It's good.
Now I'm selfish. Now I'm selfish. Yes, absolutely.
And Phil, I think we're more than gonna make up for the toasted dovetail is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but I think we'll make up for it for the other. I'm assuming you've had seagrass, but maybe not. I don't know. But we'll make up for it for sure on the others.
I've had the first 2. I just recorded 2 days ago my check out these cigar batches. So I cracked this one, which was awesome. But I haven't cracked the 12 year yet. So I'm excited to give that a shot on the show.
And I heard you're a fan of dovetail too. Isn't that like one of your? I got a little inside scoop on your.
Yep. I like dovetail. Was hoping for the toasted, but I'll find it. I'll find it in those streets.
Yeah, it's
All
out
right.
there. Trust me.
All right, Brett. So tell us a little bit about you, your role with the brand, a little bit about the brand. And I see you got the Knicks hat on. That makes me happy. That makes me happy.
Do. Yeah, I picked this up in the Eastern Conference Championship. I went out. I was, fortunate enough that my friend had tickets, so I didn't want to pay, whatever the egregious cost of that ticket would be. But yeah, it was a fun game nonetheless. It was a game that they won too. But yeah, I'm based in New York, born and raised in Manhattan. So it'd be shameful to not be a Knicks fan. So
Facts. So all you fake Brooklyn Net fans, you heard it from the source. You're disgraceful. All right, disgrace New York. Apollo with the rookie move.
You're muted, Apollo.
Every episode.
Listen, man, you started off with the overlay in front of you, okay?
But y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me.
Y'all can hear me though. No, I was gonna say, how was it in outside of Madison Square Garden, like outside in the street? Like,
it was insane. Yeah, it was electric. I mean, sure you saw the videos of people just kind of bouncing up and down on the streets, climbing the poles and all that stuff. I'll admit I got out of there relatively quickly. Right. My tender age of 41 is not built for that anymore. So give me 10 years ago, I would have been all over the place. But yeah, I think it was a good sight from a distance.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's funny because you say at your age, and we're the same age. The year that we beat Cleveland, so not last year, but the year before, and we beat them in the Garden, and I was outside. We were at a watch party. We went over, and I grabbed my camera, and I was in the middle of everything. Like, it was nuts. And this was before all these like fake media, people that like coach you on what to say, and people just started saying dirty things for the sake of saying dirty things to like get on Instagram. So it was before that, and just watching people naturally wild out in the streets was absolutely crazy. Like, it was just so nuts that like I was there and I was like, I could die, but I'm getting all the best footage possible right now. Like
Oh,
this
yeah.
is like the height of being someone in Knicks content creation. So I can't imagine the Eastern Conference and how crazy it was outside for that. So that's awesome.
Oh yeah, I went up to Yankee Stadium the last time when they won the World Series just to go up and party up there because it's just, I mean, New York loves a good party, so you can't
Yeah.
fault them for that, you know.
Yeah. Facts.
So let's talk about the brand. How long you've been with
Yes.
the brand? What's your role? Let people know.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit of a baby, and kind of a little bit like you, Phil. I've been a fan of Barrel kind of ever since they started, and seeing it and seeing the quality and the consistency that kind of gets pumped out. So it kind of makes my role incredibly easy, given that I know that see, like I was always told by my dad, it's like either you're a good salesperson or you have a really good product. And I don't claim to be a
Yeah.
good salesperson, so the product kind of sells itself for me, which is really nice. And so I handle the Northeast. So I'm the manager for the Northeast territory,
Okay.
and been with Barrel for about almost a year, close coming up on a year now.
Okay.
So, but yeah, barrels consistently there. They are blenders. To kind of give a little backstory on everybody what a blender does. So it kind of started out back in Scotland. And Scots had always been blending distilleries. They have, I think at this point, there are 150 distilleries out of Scotland, but kind of earlier days back in 1800, 1900s, is that they had all this excess whiskey that they needed to blend. And so
Yeah.
it started from that, and then to kind of develop it further is that people were able to start sourcing from distilleries and creating brands off of the excess product that brands or distilleries had. So how Barrel really started, our founder Joe Beatrice kind of took that concept of what was going on in Scotland and all these independent bottlers that were sourcing from distilleries out of Scotland, doing it in America. There weren't really any brands that were sourcing from distilleries throughout America, which is kind of crazy because there are some pretty massive players, especially in the bourbon world here. And so we were really one of the first brands to come out back in 2013 to start sourcing and kind of blending and doing it on our own accord. So,
Yeah.
the whole thing is like the sum of our parts is better than the individual. So we'll buy lots of barrels, not like lots of barrels, but the
Yeah.
lot would be like, let's say like 40 casks or something of that nature. So we'll put them in our rick house, which at this point, I think we have 17 or 18,000 barrels in our rick house. And then it's kind of off to the blending team and how they want to kind of create and what their mood is, what their vibe is at the time, and what their flavor is that they're trying to attract and what they're trying to pull from specific barrels. And yeah, I think it's they've kind of turned it on its head in the past couple of years. I think there's been a lot of competition that's come out ever since we've had a lot of success, dating into like the late 2018, 2019 is when Barrel started really kind of turning up a little bit. But blending is an art and it's a science, and I personally think that we're one of the best to come out and do it, in my very unbiased opinion. But I think when I've seen the team and what they're doing, I think and I mean this in the good sense, they're fanatical about what they do. They're fanatical about the process and how they create different iterations and their component blends, and how they test everything to make sure it's the utmost quality. And I think that how I fell in love with Barrel is that there was never, I'm a millennial, and this is kind of my story. It's like, you can never fall in love with one product. It's always like, you go into a store and there are like 6,000 tubes of toothpaste, and it's like, all right, well, I'll try all of them. I
Yeah.
don't know what is going to be my favorite. So you come into my house and you look, I mean, if I didn't have this, Rick House in my background, you can kind of see my bar behind me, and there's 200 bottles back there. Because I don't know what I want to drink any other day. And the one product I would consistently buy was Barrel, because the quality was always there. I never had to really concern myself with what was inside of it. I knew I was going to get something that was decent, and quality. So yeah.
Awesome. And did you work in the whiskey space before this?
Yep. So I've been part of the whiskey world about 15 years now. Mainly working for kind of craft distilleries. So very like grassroots orientation, really understanding how things are made and kind of putting them out into the public. So it's really been a lot more of a learning process than anything. Not can I have anything gift wrap for me. Not saying anything against big brands. Big brands have their own issues that they have to tackle. But I think just learning everything from the bottom up is kind of the craft way.
Yeah, that's awesome. And am I correct? Like, I know that you worked for a while. You guys still produce for Stellum, correct?
So Stellum's kind of 86th, which is a restaurant term, I guess, for nixed. It's not available anymore. So we still have it. It's still floating around in the wild.
Gotcha.
But for the time being, it might come back. It might not come back. If there's a demand and people all of a sudden being like, we need Stellum knocking on our door, then obviously we can kind of turn around and make it. But I loved it too. I mean, it's an incredible product.
Yeah. And what I liked about Stellum was like, you could get a Stellum store pick, which was delicious for the low, you know, like that. Yeah, you could just pick them up and take them to bottle shares everywhere, you know, like you were like bringing something delicious without breaking the bank. It was really, really awesome. Shout out to my guy JT Riddick in the chat. Appreciate you so much. If you guys can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as we break down Barrel Craft Spirits and the New York Knicks. And we are going to move to our first pour. This is a bottle that I tasted very early in my, process of barrel. And I think we're going to start with, even though the proof's a little bit higher, I don't know. Do we want to go bourbon or rye first, boys? I think we should start with seagrass.
I think end with seagrass.
Yeah. All right. I
think it's so sweet on the back end of it. I think we keep it. It's fun. It's funky. Yeah, it's fun and funky. I think we save it for the end.
All right. I'm gonna take your word.
Not to rewrite the script here.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just gonna, because I know the 12-year just dropped, so I was gonna save that for last. But let's go into the 037.
So batch 37.
Yep. Cask strength. So this one is Kentucky 10-year, Indiana 8, 11, and 12, Tennessee 13, 14, and 15 blend at 111.38 proof. So let's give this a go.
Yeah, this is a 113 or 111.38, so 56% IBV basically.
Yeah. All right.
So this is kind of, I kind of thought about it. I was like, how do I want to parallel Knicks with all these bottles? So I kind of created like a parallel player for each of these products.
Okay.
So batch 37 is kind of, this is weird. It's like our OG, but it's not going to be for OG. It's more for Josh Hart, because I think Josh Hart's one of the more tenured Knicks, if I'm not mistaken. He's been around 3.5, almost 4 years now.
Yeah.
So our batches have been around. They're the number one. Like I said, they're the OG of the entire portfolio. And so when Joe and Tripp had created, Tripp is kind of our chief whiskey scientist. Joe is the founder, Joe Beatrice. When they created this brand, this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to source whiskeys from different distilleries all across the country and blend them together. And obviously that's where the art and the science kind of comes into play, because then you're playing with your senses, you're playing with ABVs, you're playing with everything. And so what they did is that they never wanted to cask finish anything. In due time, that all changed. I think the creativity kind of took over. I can't speak for them, but I'm just kind of assuming. But what the batch is literally just blending different bourbons from different distilleries and kind of letting it speak for themselves. So kind of like what you were saying, this is a 10-year Kentucky bourbon. It's an 8, 11, and 12-year bourbon out of Indiana. And then it's a 13, 14, and 15 Tennessee bourbon as well. So those are all blended together. This was probably my second favorite release that we had last year. I mean, it's incredibly easy to drink, and to kind of parallel again, like with Josh Hart, is that this is he's one of the oldest Knicks. This is our oldest SKU that's in our portfolio, and I think it's just incredibly well-rounded.
Yep.
You kind of plug and play this into everything. This was my kitchen bourbon for basically all of last year. Kitchen bourbon being it's like one of the 5 bottles that's in your kitchen that you always just want to kind of go and grab whenever you're feeling in that mood. Same thing I think what Josh Hart is. You just go and you pick him whenever you need a little energy pulse, and that's kind of what it is. And so this is just like an orange creamsicle to me. This is a beautiful whiskey. It's lush. It's got like a lot of fruit. It's got a lot of caramel, some toffees. It's a nice, perfect bourbon whenever occasion you want to drink it.
You're speaking my language, bro. Like orange creamsicle. Like I was the kid that I would get in trouble because my hand was always trying to get into the freezer when it wasn't supposed to. Kids were cookie jars. I was creamsicles. Like you can keep your chocolate chip cookie that's been in there for hours. I want a fresh, cold creamsicle out of the freezer. So I'm excited for this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna say on the nose, I definitely smelled some orange in here.
and the other thing that barrel kind of prides itself on is that we always kind of expose our derived mash bills. Um, what we try to avoid is obviously exposing where we're sourcing from because we have non-disclosure agreements with all these distilleries that we're pulling from, so we can't tell you what distillery out of Tennessee, Indiana, and Kentucky. So that's why you always see the state. But a lot of brands don't give their derived mash bill, and so we kind of expose our derived mash bill where we can, which is going to be 78% corn, 18% rye, and 4% malted barley. Anytime you see 4% malted barley, it's not going to impart really any flavor. So you're not going to get kind of like a single maltness out of it. What that really does, it just helps develop fermentation for corn and rye because they can't really do it on its own. So you need kind of like this little Kickstarter, and that's what malted barley does at that percentage.
That's awesome. All right, let's grab a sip, and you can go first after you taste it, Al.
Okay.
This comes in MSRP, guys, at $89.99.
Yeah, that was really nice. First thing I noticed was it has a nice viscosity to it. It's kind of oily. I kind of, for some reason, I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting that, but that's there. It's really nice. I'm getting a lot of the typical bourbon, like vanilla and a little bit of orange. It was more prevalent on the nose than I got on my first sip. So let me take my second one and I'll come back to you after the rest of the guys give their notes.
Paula, what are your notes?
I was gonna say there's no rest of the guys.
Oh, there's guys, just one guy. Sorry.
You know.
All right. So
something else over here.
So for me, you know what I love about this is like warm, like so like it's crazy because something that drinks cold but warms you up so quickly, like this sip does that. So I love that. I'm definitely getting the orange. It's like an orange curacao cocktail. Like I love making cocktails. So for me, this is like something that would be in like a sidecar. You know, it's got the curacao flavors that you know and love. Definitely getting, you know, the oakiness, kind of like an anise rinse on a cocktail as well, like Sazerac, you know, where you have just a little bit of anise sprayed into the cocktail, so it's not overpowering, but still gives you that like anise type flavor. I get that as well. So I think for like its proof, it drinks its proof, but in a warm way, not in a burning way.
Yeah, I think it drank a little under its proof. I mean, yeah, it doesn't burn. It's nice flavor. It's a good proof point. I could drink this all day. I could see why this was your kitchen one. This is nice. I really like this a lot. I am getting a little bit of spice, whatever the percentage of the rye is. I'm getting a little bit of that in the form of spice, not so much of the typical like rye flavors that you get. Like sometimes you get like spearmint and stuff like that. I'm not getting any of that.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is well done, man. I like this a lot.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cheers. First pour was great. Now we're going to talk a little bit about hoops. And luckily for us, we have someone who knows the Knicks. And I think John Hart was like a great.
Hey, I have one question for Brett. I'm so sorry. I wanted to ask him. Or I could ask it to him in the next segment.
No, just ask him. Go for it. I'm great.
You mentioned that you are on the product side. So, but you didn't really say much more after that. So I'm curious, like, what do you do with product? Like, are you coming up with these ideas on like, hey, we should have?
Oh no, I have no say in any of that. I did.
So, like, what do you do with product?
What do you mean for product? Like, am I
He's
making
the sales rep of the East Coast.
I'm the salesperson on the Northeast.
I thought you said. Oh,
I know. Yeah, sorry to deflate your bubble there.
No. I just remember you saying that you either do sales or product, and I swore you said product.
Oh, so no, yeah. So I was saying you're either a good salesperson or you have a really good product. And I was saying, in order to be a good salesperson, you either have a good product or you're a good salesperson. I probably jumbled it all together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't lay claim
sales
to
is
being
simple. I know what you do now. Yes, no
Yeah,
questions
so
on
I
what you
let
do.
Barrel speak for itself. Yeah.
Answers that question.
Okay,
So
my bad.
I think Josh Hart was a great comparison to that, because he's the glue guy. We talk about it all the time. And from the pours that I've had from Barrel, which are quite a few, I feel like there's some that cater to a certain group that they're like, it's not really my jam, but others that are like, this is my jam. I feel like as Josh Hart, everyone's kind of like, I got an appreciation for him. Like, he may not be my favorite player on the team, but we don't win without him. We don't win without his hustle. We know that he's got to be in the lineup. He has to be on our squad. We need a Josh Hart. And so, yes, the batch 37 is we need a Josh Hart on our shelf. Like, it just has to be there. Every shelf is better if they have a batch 37. So I think that's a perfect comparison. So, all right. So let's talk about the last game. All right. So we went up and we played against the Atlanta Hawks, and that one was a freaking nail biter. That was one of those games that I'm like, oh my goodness. Me and my boys are watching it and they're like, Dad, are we really going to let this slip? Are we going to really let the Hawks beat us?
Almost.
Like, no, don't interrupt. I'm in my zone right now. And so it was hard being a Knicks fan and dad at the same time, because I was so frustrated with the Knicks that like the boys reaped the reward of that frustration. So I'll go to you first, Apollo, as I go and grab a glass of water, which I forgot to grab. All right, go for it.
I mean, that's I don't know what kind of workouts this guy was doing with his cousin, but Nickeil Alexander Walker was just on fire that daggone game.
Yeah, for real.
He was hitting some crazy, ridiculous shots. He had 36? He had 36, 12 and 19, and 7 of 11 from the 3-point line. He was just going crazy. He was going crazy. I mean, outside of that, Jalen Johnson, he did his normal. That's what we expected. But I did not expect Alexander Walker to do all of that. So, but despite that, we still were able to do that, especially with in the second half to get Cat to start stepping it up the way he did. He definitely ended up 9 to 12 from the field. And that's kind of what you want him to do, is he enforces. Sometimes I have an issue with how he doesn't put himself in position to be what he can be. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I see him, like he's being guarded by a smaller guy and he kind of like lets them take him out of position. And, that's not what you're supposed to do at that size. So this was a game, especially against a good team, to see him do that consistently and go at those guys, especially in big moments. That was good to see, especially to get that dub the way we did. But outside of that, the guys, it was a rough game. It was a rough game. They played us really, really well, but I'm glad that we pulled that one out.
Yeah.
29 assists.
Close.
Not quite 30, but we got close.
That's why the game was so close, because we didn't hit 30. So, all right, Al, what are your thoughts?
I think I got some other reasons why the game was so close. I'll cover those in a minute. So for this game, I knew that these guys were going to come out bricked up and ready to play us. Like, we were definitely circled on their calendar, on their schedule, and they were up for the game. So I'm glad that we were up for the game. I feel like we answered that call. Like, this had playoff intensity, playoff physicality from the very beginning. Atlanta's a tough team, and they built together a pretty tall roster, and they were playing that for the first 3 quarters. They were playing that Jalen Brunson and Jalen Brunson's not going to beat us defense, and they were like, putting up that wall, and he was struggling. Jalen Brunson was struggling a lot through the first 3 quarters, but I did see a lot of pick and roll this time with Cat. I think this is the game where we saw the most pick and roll between Jalen Brunson and Cat. And a lot of the reads, I was texting you guys, like a lot of the pick and pop specifically, I felt like Jalen didn't know if he should attack or if he should pass to Cat. And a lot of times his pass to Cat was late because Cat was open. Both defenders were going to him, and he could have passed it to Cat sooner for the three. But Brunson was having a bad shooting night, but he was also getting a lot of assists. So he was moving the ball as well. So he was doing a good job there. And then he brought us home in the fourth. He did what Jalen Brunson does. And I was starting to get a little worried, like, hey, man, I think teams have started to figure out Jalen Brunson. Is he going to be able to rise in the playoffs like he typically does? Because I feel like this year might be a little different. But Atlanta, the game against Atlanta made me feel like, okay, maybe he still does have the juice. And it alleviated some of those concerns for that night. Some of the reasons why the game was close, I don't even know if we should have won this game because we got out rebounded. We lost the rebounding battle 48-47, just one, but they got 19 offensive rebounds. That 19 extra possessions, that's crazy. And then on top of that, we had 17 turnovers. If you give up 19 rebounds and 17 turnovers, that's usually an L. So we were lucky to, come away with that victory.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And Brett, did you catch the game?
I caught basically the back half of it. So I guess the more exciting part for the Knicks in the third quarter, where they just basically went off, and then kind of rounded it out. I mean, from Brunson, what more can you expect from him in the fourth quarter? The whole game was centered around him in the fourth quarter, which was absurd. You couldn't stop him with anything. But I thought, aside from our boy Josh Hart, who we've give glowing reviews to, I think it was everyone kind of played their role in that game. Everyone didn't have like this flash to them again, aside from Brunson in the fourth quarter. I think it was like this somehow unified effort that they just put the glue in the pieces that it needed to be pieced together, and they all kind of got it done at the end of the day. And my God, the last heave at the final was a good 10 seconds of just praying that the ball did not actually make it a pass. But that stadium was rocking. So I think they were walking into a lion's den at that point, and I don't think they expected it. So I'm happy, obviously, if they came away with the dub there, but I don't think it was as bad as it like the statistics would say, because I think it I don't know what it's like to play in that environment, so I can't speak on that.
So for me, the standout is Alexander Walker for sure. This is the second time he's kind of lit us up. And he, even the announcers, every single play we're talking about, this kid is playing all-star level basketball. Like, this kid has unlocked, which is crazy because he's kind of not had this kind of success in his career, but he's developed his offensive game to go with his defensive game. And it's rare to see a guard play that good defensively and offensively in the league now. It's like one or the other is your skill set, and the other one you're just doing okay at. Like, he is unleashed something crazy in Atlanta. And if he keeps playing at that capacity, kid's going to have a crazy future, like absolutely crazy. But besides him torching us left and right, I think we did a decent job at, keeping Dyson Daniels to a minimum, because Dyson can go off. So we stopped that. We didn't do too great against Jalen Johnson, but he's just a talented kid.
He's a beast, man. He's a beast.
He's just so good. I will say that Jalen Brunson impressed me, okay? Because offensively, he did well. But a lot of times when he's doing well offensively is when you see the 4 to 7 assist numbers, but to have 30 points in that game and still have 13 assists is incredible. And a lot of times I'm like, yo, stop ball hogging in the fourth. It can cost us the game. But it's games like this that I want him to continue. He went 6 for 10, and 17 of his 30 points were in that quarter, but he still, was rebounding. He still got an assist. That's when you play to your Captain Clutch strengths. When the ball is agreeing with your mind to score. Sometimes if your mind is saying I'm Captain Clutch, but the ball is saying not tonight, you're not, you have to be able to cipher and realize, okay, maybe I need to do something else. But this game told him you need to keep shooting. And he did. And it was beautiful.
There was a play down the stretch after he was already on fire, you know what I mean? And he starts to get into his little dribble bag that he does. He starts sizing the guy up, and then he just swings it to OG, and OG hits the open three. And it's just like those are the plays that stars make.
Yeah.
And that's what I always said to my friends. I'm like, listen, scoring, like, look at Cam Thomas. that kid can score.
Yeah.
He's not a star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A star isn't just, I can put the ball in the basket. It's about setting your team up and making the right play at the right time. And that's exactly what he's starting to incorporate, which is, last games of the season. you would like to see that, earlier.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that there's success in doing that right before the playoffs so that they can stick with that.
And I do want to say this, to me, even though it was a lot closer than I wanted to, from the starting lineup, this is probably my favorite game of the season.
Yeah.
And the reason is Jalen can still get his 30, but had 13 assists. Cat stepped up offensively, had 21 points, but it didn't make his rebounds suffer. He still had 12 rebounds? Yeah, 12 rebounds.
12 boards. And 6 dimes.
Yeah. And OG had 22 points and 5 rebounds and 2 blocks. And even Mikhail, on nights like this, it's okay for Mikhail to have 15 points because he also has 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block, and 5 rebounds. So everyone contributed, and even though it was a rough night offensively for Josh, he still pulled up 5 boards and 3 assists. So every single player on that Knicks starting lineup contributed. And I think that's what we need to see if we want to compete in the playoffs. Because let's say we do get someone like the Hawks. They are younger than us. They are aggressive. They, can play with physicality. They have a lot of scorers. They can play. In a 7-game series, we need to not rely on 1 or 2 people. We need to keep teams like them guessing because their whole starting lineup can play defense. So if it's just one of our guys that's scoring, we're way too predictable for a team like the Atlanta Hawks. So that's what I thought. I know, Al, you said you had one more takeaway from that game.
Yeah, this game was super interesting because this is the first game that we really started to see what the playoff rotation is actually going to be. So we didn't see any Diawara and we didn't see any Alvarado. So the guys off the bench are going to be McBride, Shamet, Clarkson. Probably Clarkson's getting the least amount of minutes there, or he'll be like a heat check kind of thing. If he's got it going, he'll get more minutes. Yeah. And obviously Mitchell Robinson is going to be our big off the bench.
Yeah.
But so I thought that was really interesting to see.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say that I'm not 100% sure on based off of Mike Brown's comments was I don't know if McBride has solidified that spot yet. Because Mike Brown had talked about how in absence of Miles McBride, that Alvarado and Shamet and Clarkson were all contributing. And so he's kind of got to see what minutes look like. And I think he's giving Miles some minutes to see, okay, are you still the same Miles McBride you were before you left? Or do we have to bank on the chemistry of what came from the Alvarado, Shamet, Clarkson minutes? So I think that's a test that we're going to see. Is I wouldn't be surprised if in Boston we see a little variety on those guards off the bench to see who actually gets the minutes come playoff time.
Well, now that you bring that up, remember the game that Diawara had against the Celtics?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
wonder if he's going to play.
Jaylen Brown. Yeah.
And honestly, this is my hope. And maybe I'm unrealistic, but my hope is that Mike Brown switches it up. I think in order to really utilize our roster, I think the starting lineup needs to be dependent on the series. Like,
Yeah.
I think that if the series is against a more tall, physical team, Alvarado or McBride might not make it. Like Diawara needs to be in there if it's a physical and tall team. If it's a lot of length and a lot of, who's better off their bench? Are their forwards or their point guards better off the bench? Because if their point guards are really good off the bench, then we need to make sure that we have defensive-minded guards like Alvarado and McBride to be able to defend them. But if their power forward and small forward are their strengths off the bench, then Diawara is more of a important presence coming off the bench than those guys would be. So I think that Mike Brown has to kind of go, holy cow, we have a lit roster that gives us a variety. It's not like the old Knick days where it's like we have one power forward in Randall and we won't play Obi and we have nobody else. So Josh Hart's your power forward now. So I think that we have enough tools that Mike Brown can switch it up depending on the series. I'd like to see him do that. So, but let's clear out our glasses.
Oh, I did want to have a little update for you. The Cleveland Cavaliers are up 110-98 versus the Hawks with 8 minutes to go.
All right. So looks like Cleveland's going to be right on our tail. So tomorrow's game against Boston,
they were just up by 18. So they're not up by 18 anymore. They're only up by 12. So the Hawks might be able to go on a nice little run. So we'll see.
They might. But we were down when I talked about it earlier in the game. They were behind the Hawks. Yeah. So they had a big one. Let's see. No one else playing tonight really affects us in any way, shape, or form. No. So all right. So let's talk about the next four before we go into the next part of the series. So this right here, all right, this is their newest release, which is the cigar blend. And if you know me, I'm a sucker for some cigar blends. And this one is very, very unique. So this one comes in at 111.2 proof, finished in Madeira, Armagnac, rum, and Hungarian oak casks. So excited for this one. Anything you want to tell me about this one, Brett?
I got a whole bunch.
Let me have
this is probably one of the more exciting releases that we've had in a long time. So do you guys know what cigar blend, really like the intention of what a cigar blend is?
Yep. Smoke it with a cigar.
With a cigar.
Yeah. So pretty much. That's the short of it. The long of it is that it's supposed to be kind of like a high proof complex whiskey that is supposed to obviously pair with cigars, hence cigar blend, but it also has like this sweet, savory profile that's supposed to kind of complement, not overpower the smoke. So while they do that is that they'll kind of manipulate various different casks from like sweet. So you'll see like Pedro Jimenez sherry or like Madeira casks, or then you'll kind of get your savory, and that's where you'll have like your rum cask finishes off of. So we use 4 different casks that'll kind of give a little bit of pieces of each little cask rolled into it. So there's Armagnac. That's grape brandy. It's basically distilled from white grapes, and they use French Limousin oak to basically age the brandy and turns it into Armagnac, grown in the southwest of France. So that's when you're gonna get kind of a little bit more of like your savory, a little bit of the sweet that kind of rolls off of that. Madeira is a fortified wine from Portugal off the island of Madeira. And what they do, they kind of do this little funky concept. So Madeira is always that bottle that you'll see in like old, like maritime, like ships, like all like ships sailing across the sea. You'll see these old vintage bottles with like these bright white prints all over it from, like 1800 or something like that. So what a fortified wine is, it's basically, it's juice, well, it's wine that's basically fortified with a spirit, so typically like brandy. So fortified wines will last a lot longer, and they're usually a lot sweeter because they're sugared as well. So what they do for Madeira is that they bake and oxidize their wines to help kind of like mimic what a maritime voyage used to be, if that makes any sense. So you're sitting out in sea, obviously it's going to be sitting in the sun, it's blistering, it's boiling, and then obviously just being oxidized, being out in the middle of the ocean forever. So they'll basically kind of turn up the temperature and they'll cook Madeira and oxidize it a little bit. And hence that's what a Madeira wine is. So they're really, really sweet. They could be a little dry. Ours is typically on the sweeter side. So you have your Armagnac, you have your Madeira. And then we also have a rum. So obviously you kind of get your tropical, your funk, your sweet that kind of gets rolled into that. And then kind of the most unsung hero of this equation is going to be the Hungarian oak. Not a lot of people know what Hungarian oak really is, but if you were to take kind of like a European oak and a French and American oak and have a baby, it would be Hungarian oak. So I kind of have to get into like some wine terms to kind of explain Hungarian oak. So everybody knows what like tannins are, right? Like with a wine. So tannins, what tannins do when you have a wine that's really like rich in tannins, you get like really dry and like kind of that like cotton mouth feel to it. So what is happening is that those tannins are binding with proteins in your saliva that clump. And it stops lubricating your mouth. Not great for wine, but incredible for whiskey. So what that does is, and this is the reason why I'm kind of explaining this all, is that it creates an incredibly long finish for whiskeys. So when you have Hungarian oak, when you have French oak, any kind of European oak with all these really high tannins, the finish on these whiskeys are going to be insanely long because those whiskeys grip onto your palate a lot more. So with this cigar blends, the finish lasts forever. And that's why when you're smoking your cigar, you're able to have this like lasting kind of like palate on your mouth of the whiskey, of the oak, of the Armagnac, of the Madeira. So that's why you always want some kind of European oak that's rolled into this. So our cigar blend basically does exactly that. It has your sweet, it has your savory, it has your Hungarian oak to kind of like grip your palate to it. Just like an incredibly smooth, incredibly clean bourbon. It's one of my favorite releases we've had. It kind of speaks for itself.
I love it. So I'll let Al get it. And then, like I said, I have a video that's actually dropping tomorrow. I have a series on my Instagram, which says "Stop hunting this bottle." And then it's 5 other bottles that you need to check out. And so this is actually one of the cigar batches that I praise and tell people to go pick up. Because as soon as I cracked it, I loved it. Like, seriously, very, very unique. So for me, off the bat, I get like a coffee molasses blend, which I absolutely love because I'm a diehard coffee fan. But I also get like the nuttiness from the Madeira and the Hungarian oak. So it's like a very playful, like walnut, like almond kind of blend, which never is an issue for me. And then, one of my favorite things about it is that Armagnac, because I love making cocktails with Armagnac. I just love sipping Armagnac, because it's very, very fruit forward flavors. So you get like prunes, cherry, fig, and some earthy tones in it. And then you mesh that with the nuttiness and the sweetness that I talked about earlier. And it's seriously like the perfect blend. A lot of cigar batches can lean more so on the sweet side or on the like earthy nutty side. I feel like this is that blend perfectly of the two, so that everybody feels like they can party. So
yeah, this was supposed to be my player comp for this was Brunson, because it has everything rolled in there, and it's just a perfect blend, like you said.
Well, in that, take a sip, kiss it up. Shout out to Beryl for this beautiful bottle. What are your thoughts, Al?
So I already took my sip. Sorry. I got a lot of nice viscosity on this. I thought coats the palate really well. I did get a lot of cherry. One thing that you didn't mention that I got, and you mentioned this on a lot of bourbons, Phil, and I kind of never tasted, but I got the leather notes on this one a lot. I got a lot of nice oak and leather. Really tasted nice with the cherry or like plum kind of flavors that I was getting. But I want to revisit it again and then see if I catch any other notes.
Yeah, this one's great. And from what I've seen, all over social media, everyone's kind of really taken to this one. This is one, like I said, there's some that I feel like I'll see a bunch of my friends, like half of my whiskey content creator community will post about this certain release and be like, oh, I really liked it. And then a different release is like the other half. But I feel like everybody has posted in the last week raving reviews about the cigar batch. So I think that this is an incredible release.
What was the proof? What was the proof?
111.2.
Good proof.
So the reason, Al, that I didn't say leather is because a lot of times that leather is like part of that smokiness. And when you talk about like molasses has that smokiness, but it's also mixed with like burnt sugar and caramel. So it's in there, but it's not just like leather. Like I taste the leather with the sweetness. So molasses kind of groups both of those kind of together, the sweet notes with the smoky notes.
I notice you guys aren't staying smooth at all.
We're waiting to do an episode of just you and Beryl, and we know that our YouTube allowance of the word smooth will come just from that episode for the
Listen,
year.
I've already
episode. I already cut it out.
So I forgot to mention to Brett, like I'm a huge cigar blend guy, as Phil knows. And I'm definitely gonna run out but I already checked at my local Total Wine. If they have it, I'm definitely gonna run out and pick this one up. Because
it should be there.
I think it's different, like drinking it like this and then drinking it as I'm smoking a cigar. I think I pick up different notes as I'm smoking a cigar. So that's gonna be probably this weekend's activity. I'm gonna go get a nice cigar, get 100%. One of these, and enjoy it.
Yeah, and that to me is honestly more of a telling thing about a good cigar batch. Like sometimes people are like, oh yeah, but you have to try it with a cigar, then you'll like it. I'm like, well, no, the juice should speak for itself. I shouldn't have to like find something to make it good, because now I have like a select kind of flavor profile cigars that I have to now buy if I want this $70-$80 bottle that I purchased to taste good. Like it should taste good whether I have a cigar in my hand or not, because right now I'm inside. But if I'm outside watching the game with you and I want to light up a cigar, I should be able to have the same pour that I would have had for dinner. So I love it. I appreciate this one. Great job, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go into the next pour, because we got to make sure that Apollo is part of this show. I want to talk about our game tomorrow. This is kind of a big deal. This is emotionally also a very big game for Jason Tatum. I was watching, his interview, and they were like, "Are you looking forward to it?" And he's like, "No, I'm not looking forward to it."
Yeah.
And, he was just like, I'm just coming back from something that I thought could be the end of my playing career. And now I'm going back to the building that I thought that I lost it all in, And so that's a pretty heavy thing, and, for someone that has fought so hard to come back, I think he's going to try to make it worth it in the Garden tomorrow night. I think that if he's going to come out there and he's going to play with all that anxiety already, I feel like Tatum's the kind of player that's going to rise to the occasion. And we have to be ready for that, because I watched them. Who did they play last night? Charlotte. And they were going back and forth. And then in that fourth, Boston just took over. Like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Pritchard, they all just, even with Vucevic playing like absolute basura last night, they were able to put, the foot to Charlotte's butt in that fourth quarter. And I think they're going to try to do that again tomorrow. Solidify, hey, we're here to play. Because I would think, because they're far enough ahead of us, right, that they don't even need to play Tatum.
No,
is that correct?
Yeah, I mean they're 3 games ahead of us.
Yeah, they're 3 games ahead. There's no way we can catch up. And the fact that Jason Tatum's still talking about playing tomorrow night shows that Boston's not ready to take their foot off the gas. Also, Missoula has not lost more than 25 games in his tenure as the Boston Celtics coach. And so they do not want to lose tomorrow because that would be the first time that he has lost more than 25 games if we beat them tomorrow night. So it's important to Tatum. It's important to Missoula. So what are your thoughts on tomorrow night? I'll go with you first, Brett. Guests go first.
Well, it's in the Garden. So, I mean, like that's a huge advantage in itself, and it's going to be playoff atmosphere. That's a guarantee. It is terrifying knowing that Tatum, but again, like he's not playing every night though, right? So he's kind of having like a game off, a game here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So I mean,
he won't play back to backs. He won't play back to backs. He can play the games, just not back to back.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I don't think you're getting the full 100% piece of him because mentally, I feel like if you're playing every game, it's a different aspect that you're kind of getting out of him. So I'm not fully convinced that he's going to come out fully raging that we kind of like expect him to do. But that being said, like he's also an all-world player, so at any given moment, he can drop of a hat, like he can be that guy. They're a force. Like they're 2 years out from winning the championship. That's like mostly the team is still there and still together. I think it's terrifying. Obviously you want the Knicks to win to get a higher seed, but it's not the right team that you want to be walking into a gauntlet in the final 3 games. But I think the one thing that Knicks at least have is that the last 3 games are all home games at the Garden. So, I think it'll be a battle. I think it'll be a low scoring battle.
All right. What are your thoughts, Al?
So I was thinking about like how this game is going to go, and I can't figure it out. After your intro, seems like maybe the Celtics want this game a little more than I was anticipating or expecting. This is one of those games where it's like it's so close to the playoffs, like you don't want to tip your hand, especially if the standings stay the way they stay. We'll be seeing the Celtics in the second round. So you don't want to tip your hand and be showing them things that you want to keep for the playoffs. So I wonder how Mike Brown is going to approach that. That is the most important and overarching thing that I'm looking at. I honestly don't care if we punt the game. I know a lot of fans are going to be looking at this like it's a litmus test. I don't really care about it that much. I'd rather not tip my hand right now. The other thing with respect to Tatum is, look, I was wrong when they said he was coming back. I was like, he's not going to be the same. And he's been cooking. He's been playing really well. But I took a look at his percentages, and they're actually favorable for us. Like he's shooting 41% from the field and only 33.8 from 3, which is a little bit below average. Definitely not to his standards. So he's playing well, but he's still not quite himself all the way. So anyways, if they get us in the playoffs, they are going to want to. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. Right now I'm kind of shook. I think they might be the toughest team to play in the Eastern Conference. I kind of rather see Detroit, if you ask me. So I would be okay with punting the game and sliding to 4th, as much as I hate to say that.
Ooh, that's a bold.
And I always want the highest seed, but we're not getting the 2nd seed. And these, like the way that they're going to be gunning for us, like, and the NBA might put the fix in for the big Tatum story. Like, I can't. Nope. Let them play somebody else.
All right, I'll let Apollo go before I rebuke that take.
Okay, so as you know, I don't want to see Tatum playing right now for personal reasons. I'm still recovering from my Achilles injury. I just had therapy earlier today, and they're telling me to go play 3-on-3 basketball, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that. So I don't know about this guy playing NBA basketball so soon. I think I tore my Achilles like 2 months after him. So it's like I would be shook to play this team in that building as well if I was Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? So I know that'll be a big thing for him. I think if he can play, he will play, and for this reason alone, he would rather get that out the way if he has to play us in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Get that out of his head. I played in this building already, and I was fine. You know what I mean? And everything was okay. So, boom, we can get that out of his way. So I think he's going to try to play if he can play. Another thing I want to talk about is Jaylen Stinking Brown. I'm sick of this guy. Like he's annoying. He really wants to be a villain so bad. And it's like, dog, nobody likes you or cares for you that much for you to be a villain. Like
nobody's afraid of you. Word.
Yeah, you're trying way too hard.
Yo,
he reminds me of
that boy can ball. Like at the end of the day, whether you like him or not, that boy can ball.
No. He can ball, but he's not a villain. You know what I mean? Like
we got Mo Diawara for his ass.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But he's trying so hard to be a villain to the Knicks. Like every time he gets in front of a camera, he's always talking about the Knicks.
Yeah, and that commercial, didn't he say something about the Knicks in that commercial?
Yeah, and it's like, dude, we get it. You lost to us, and you shouldn't have. But we were still built for that team. Like the way this team was constructed was to beat the Celtics. That's kind of how they tried to construct this team, and that's kind of why we were able to beat them in the playoffs, even though no one expected that to happen. Is because we were built to play that. We were built to beat that team, and it worked. And I don't even think we were operating at 100% when we beat them. Honestly, do I think that they were at 100%? No, obviously that they didn't have Jason Tatum. But go ahead.
I think this Boston team is hungrier than last year's Boston team because they were fresh off a chip. Sure. Now they've lost to us, and they felt that sting, and so now they're hungry to beat us, man. And like, it's just a dangerous team.
I think I agree. I absolutely agree, but I still think we're built for that team to have the way that we have both of our wings. The wings that we have for that team, we're actually finally getting other guys to play defense against wings. We were so small for a while. Now we have Mo Diawara. Now you have a guy like Jeremy that you can throw on a guy who's taller. You know what I mean? Like we're starting to build a team that's not so small, because that was an issue that we had for a long time.
Yeah.
So the drive, the hunger, for sure. I think that's something that you have to worry about. But I think if you get it down to the game plan and we operate the way we're supposed to, and like I said earlier, not earlier, but the other day in the chat, like we are a really, really good team, but we're like a car, like, you know, the analogy I use, the car with no acceleration, but like high top speed. You know what I mean? So it's like the way we play every single game, it's like we start off slow, and it's like every other team built that confidence from the moment that tip off happened. And then it's like we finally get it towards the end of the game. So, you know, I think being at home tomorrow versus them, this should be a game, especially no one should be on the injury report. You know, seeing maybe we don't. Yeah, we got 2 days off. So, you know, this should be a game, you know, all in all, this should be a game that we should win. I don't want to be worried about these guys. They are definitely a team to worry about. I'm not going to say that they're not, you know, like get them out of here. But this should be a game that it's a good test for us, especially if everyone plays.
Yeah.
Hey, can we ask the chat, everyone in the chat, are y'all scared of Boston? Like, how y'all feeling about Boston?
So,
my bad. Go ahead, Phil.
I'll say this, okay? The scary thing about Boston is that at that time, Jaylen Brown was a number 2 who didn't want to be a number 2. Mm-hmm. He was a number 2 that didn't want to be in the shadows, but wasn't good enough. Hold on, let me mute that real quick. I got the game in the background so we know what's happening. So he was a number 2 that didn't want to be a number 2, but wasn't good enough to be the number 1. With Tatum going down, Jaylen Brown has skyrocketed to the potential of a number 1. Like he could be, and he is right now, the number 1. So when your number 1 now becomes your number 2, it kind of shows a new level of where your team's at. Like Peyton Pritchard was a good 6th man, but he was playing in the, like now starting lineup kind of basketball. So all of these guys have kind of developed. Yes, they lost Porzingis, but then they got Vucevic, who plays pretty similar kind of basketball, but also has veteran presence. So they are a team that you have to watch out for. The only thing I'm gonna push back out on Al's take that I'm like, nah, bro, don't ever say that again, is the falling backwards. Like I'm not okay with that because for me, we don't know who we're going to play in the second round no matter what. I don't want to go in and play the Hawks when I could play the Raptors. Like, that's just not something I want to do. Why? Because every team is more exhausted in the second round than they are the first. So why would I want to go in with a team that could possibly take it to 7 as opposed to a team that we might possibly be able to beat in 5? Like, I think we could take the Raptors in 5. So why risk games like the last one against the Hawks over a span of 7 games? Why do that to our players? I would rather just buck up and play. Like, I would rather do that, especially now that we're seeing our team in these last 2 or 3 games actually play the kind of basketball we've wanted to see all season. I want to milk that. Like, let's keep on going. Let's figure out the kinks. Let's figure out who gets those minutes in that first lineup. We don't have the luxury of sitting out that team without falling, because as of right now, if I'm looking at the score correct in this game, the Hawks are down 5 with 1:10 left. So the Cavs are going to be right there. So they have 1 game left and we have 1 game left. Theirs is a guaranteed win. They're playing the freaking Wizards. So they are guaranteed a victory in their next game if they win this game tonight. So if they win this game tonight and we don't want to fall, we have to beat Boston, or we do become the 4th seed and have to play the Hawks. I don't want that. I would rather go.
We have 3 games left, right?
Yeah.
We have Boston.
Yeah, Boston
2.
Raptors, and then Charlotte on Sunday.
Okay, how many games do the Cavs have?
The Cavs might have 1 or 2 left. Let me see.
Let's see. Cavs have. I think they got 1 more game. They got 2 games. They got 1 more against the Hawks. So they play the Hawks again, and then they play the Cavs.
Okay, so they have 2, we have 3.
Yeah, so if they win this game and we lose, it's anyone's ballpark, and we play better teams than they do. So I would rather not take that risk and throw in the towel early, because then we are pretty much giving up that seeding, and I don't think it's worth it at all, because Toronto can still be a game, and we know that Charlotte can play against us. So I don't want to leave it to risk. I want us to go out there and beat Boston tomorrow night. So that's my thought. So while we're here, let's go into the next pour before we break down the final questions of the Knicks and this season. All right. So we are going to go into this. This is a new release that I'm excited about, aged 12 years. All right. And this one is in toasted American oak casks, a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys, 12 years, 113.4 proof. So, Brett, you're it.
All right. So here's my player comp for this one. Is going to be OG, partly because it's a blend of Indiana and Tennessee bourbon. Given that OG went to Indiana, I feel like that was the one easy comp to throw in there. But also, it's a clean bourbon. It's got a really nice long finish to it, and OG I know has his moments, but this is one that you can always kind of rely on and depend on in terms of what it's going to bring to you in terms of flavor point. And another really solid release that we created. So the Red Label series is a relatively new concept with barrel. Kind of a twist on the classics, kind of playing homage to our roots, which are some of our favorite products that we've released in the past. One of which is always going to be a toasted American oak cask. So it's going to be a 12 all the way up to 15-year-old blend of bourbons. So it's not just a 12-year-old that's on the age statement. So anytime you see a bottling, you always have to put the lowest age statement on the bottle, even though this goes up to a 15-year-old bourbon. And then to kind of add a little bit more steroids on top of that is that we are toasting those barrels as well with finishing of that toasted American oak cask all the way from 3 to 40 months old. So you're getting almost like an additional 3 years of age on top of that.
Okay, that's awesome. And this one just dropped, right?
Yep, this is about a month old.
Okay, that's awesome. And this one goes for, I believe, 159 MSRP.
Correct. We're going up in price point, but not losing quality. Just a little bit of a curiosity and uniqueness to it.
So this cap, is this going to be standard on all of them, or for those like more rare releases?
A little bit more of the higher price points. So there's the Red Label series, which is this, then our Black Label series. So they're almost like kind of like magnetic and a little bit, obviously a little bit more weight to it.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit more of quality cap that kind of comes with that.
Awesome. All right, let's give this a go. This smells delicious.
This smells 12 years old. I can smell the barrel
like
already.
Smoke maple, like smoked maple old fashioned, like on the nose.
I won't interpret that. That smells 12 years old the way it.
Sorry, that sounded bad.
Oh man,
We're talking about bourbon here, guys. Come on.
This is not a Diddy or Giddy situation.
This is not a Diddy party. Not
a Diddy or a Giddy situation.
wow,
All right?
wow.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious. All right. Moving on quickly, please. All right.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I'll just keep my mouth shut.
This is the sweetest one so far that we've tasted. Again, very nice viscosity. I get a lot of the barrel in a great way. I got like a creme brulee kind of taste. This is the first time I've ever tasted creme brulee in a bourbon like this. That came through really nice for me. I really enjoyed that. That's the most prominent note that I just got. Obviously, the brown sugars and stuff like that, like your typical bourbon flavors. But man, this is well done.
I love this. Like you definitely get that like toasted marshmallow, you know, that you get on most toasted bourbon, but this one has like it's crazy. It's got like honey, graham cracker, tobacco, maple. Like this is all the like classic bourbon notes that you would like that sometimes fall out when you have a toasted barrel. Some of those maples kind of disappear into the background. And they're, you know, more marshmallow, more oak, more clove. But this has all those bourbon notes that you love classically with a little bit of honey, but then all the things that you get from a toasted. So that makes it real unique to me because it's not like a substitution of the toasted flavors to release the classic bourbon flavors. It's like a blending of the two. Don't know how the freak you guys did this, but that's like seriously magic. Like really, really crazy.
Yeah, I got a lot of the toasted flavors on the second sip, and again some leather or leather or tobacco.
Yeah, tobacco for sure.
Sometimes I can't differentiate between the two, but yeah, really nice, man. This is worth the sticker price because when I saw the sticker price, you know how they say like, and I'm sure you guys know this. Like most people always say like $10 per year. So this is way over that, right? So I'm like, okay, let's see if this lives up to the bill. But yeah, this is worth the 160, guys. Like, if you see this, buy this. Especially me, like I love cigar blends and I love older bourbons. I do love older bourbons. That's for
So
not every old bourbon is done right. Doesn't mean because it's 18 years that it's gonna be good, right? Like I've moved past that part, like, but I typically like a little bit older bourbon.
yeah,
My palate.
yeah. So my whole like the $10 thing, I do that on like most of the like basic releases. You know, I think it's a little bit harder when you have a blend. Because it's not just a single barrel that was there aging 12 years and it came out.
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
You know, it's like a toasted blend that you had to like do your chemistry with and taste things and be like, okay, this barrel mixed with this barrel is going to do that. So you got to pay a little bit for the creativity and the genius behind the mastermind blender as well. So yeah, I definitely think that this is definitely worth the price point.
I saw some of the juice came from Wyoming too. So I was like, okay, they got juice from here, from Kentucky, from Indiana, Tennessee, and then Wyoming, which is a little random, but I did have a Wyoming whiskey the other day that I thought was pretty good. So I was actually intrigued. I was like, oh, they went to Wyoming for that. I said, okay, I kind of like the Wyoming bourbon. So yeah, and you guys came through. This was nice. This was really good. Very well done.
All right, guys. Cleveland has officially won that game. 30 seconds left, up 6. Unless a miracle, that game is over. And they are that much closer to us. I might actually be behind because I'm streaming.
It's won by 6. It's over.
Okay, yeah, game.
It's over.
So that's over. All right. So let's talk before we go into the next 4. I want to ask you, Brett, being with the brand, and you guys have different levels, obviously, price points and stuff like that. What are your 3 favorite releases that are currently on the website?
Ooh, that's a good question because now you're going to test me what's available on the website. I would say if there's the 12-year French oak, so our first release of the red label, there's a French oak finish, which I think was just beyond beautiful and elegant. And I would put that as my favorite release since I've personally been with Barrel. If that's available on the website, the Toasted American kind of go like toe to toe with each other for me. Cigar blend for sure. I think that's stunning. It's why, I mean, it seems really weird for me to say, but like all the whiskeys that we're trying tonight are basically all my favorites. So like batch 37, I think is a must. Cigar blend, I think, is also a must. And then you kind of get into our flagships and kind of our core SKUs. And I know you touched on it at the way beginning of the show, but Vantage. Vantage is basically a tripled oak cask where it's bourbon that's finished in Japanese Mizunara oak, toasted American oak, and then European French oak. So it's almost like a hybrid of kind of everything that we're tasting through tonight, and that's a really pretty whiskey as well.
That's awesome. All right, so I got to ask, if I was, let's say I'm gonna decide, all right, I want to splurge on one of these bottles, all right, and I'm thinking 19-year Seagrass, I'm thinking Dovetail Toasted, or I'm thinking, let's pick one more. Or I'm thinking, let's go with the 18-year Cabernet barrel. Which one of those 3 is like, oh, if I have to choose one, that's the one?
The 19-year-old Seagrass is special.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, it is. I mean, when we taste Seagrass, you'll see what's so unique about it, and then I don't know. It's tough to compete with.
Okay.
Especially at a 19-year level.
Yeah. Okay. I'm asking. My birthday's coming up soon. I'm turning the big 42 in about.
When's your birthday?
June 1st.
Okay.
So we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do and what I want to get. So I'm like looking at some of those, and I'm like, all right.
No, you're not going to be disappointed with any of them. I can guarantee you that.
Okay. Awesome.
They will get you going for sure.
All right. So let's talk about. We talked about the Boston game. So before we do taste Seagrass and see what we think of it, tell me the one concern that you have for the playoffs, and the one team that you want to try to avoid come playoffs, based off of what we've seen in this last month of basketball. So I'll throw it to you first, Al. Let's see what you think.
I just told you guys, Boston Celtics, and it's not really that much about Tatum. It's more about the team as a whole and where they're at. Last year, I didn't think they were as hungry because they were fresh off a chip, and they probably looked at us because they spanked us the whole year, and they probably were like, yo, we could just beat these guys. And think about that mindset. Similar to how the Knicks have kind of been operating all year. They kind of been like, we'll just turn it on in the playoffs. It's a scary thing. So this year, they got new players. These players are hungrier. The kid, Kata. People talk about Vucevic. I'm not worried about Vucevic. Nobody's scared of Vucevic. The kid, Kata, can ball. He's like their Mitchell Robinson, and he can go in there and bang with Mitch, and he's younger. He has really good advanced defensive stats. And the other person that has really good advanced defensive stats is Peanut Head. What's his name? White?
Oh,
Peanut
yeah.
Head. I call him Peanut Head. Yeah, I call him Peanut Head. He has a case for Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, he's not going to get it because of Wemby, but he has a case for Defensive Player of the Year. He's really, really good on the defensive end. So all that on the defensive end, plus the talent that they got on the offensive end, it's and the hunger and all that. Like, I would love to dodge them. I have never ever tried to dodge a team ever in my life. And what I've been saying leading up to today is, yo, line them up and we got to knock them down, because usually that's how I operate. But if I could tiptoe past these guys and let somebody else handle them, I would really like that.
All right. Any concerns based off of our squad for the playoffs?
Our squad, my biggest concern is going to be our height and the mismatches that come from that. Some of it is, also like Jalen Brunson, going hero-centric or whatever, but that's less than the most important thing to me is like our defense. And I think we always get put in compromised positions because we are undersized in a lot of positions. Like off the tip, we're undersized because of Josh Hart. Like he's 6'4", really our power forward. Yeah. And we're undersized right off rip. And then we got guys coming off the bench that are undersized. So that's my biggest concern. I think that's our biggest weakness, and that's how teams are going to attack us. So that's what I can think about every day.
Okay. All right. Before I throw it to Brett and then Apollo, let me look at this real quick. Games today. All right. So I'm going to do a run that back real quick. All right.
Hey,
this is my run that back. And I give full credit to my guy, Apollo Reed, because he just sent me something. And I looked at it and I was like, holy crap, are you serious? So let me see if I have it here. All right. Boom. This is my run that back. Yes, they were playing a team that they ended up losing. But Jericho Sims just got a triple-double of 11 points.
No, this is fake, bro. This got to be from Butt Crack Sports.
And 2 steals in 39 minutes.
Nope.
Like,
this
is the frustrating thing, because
this is not true.
My whole thing is he going to do this all the time?
No, bro. That is a post. You got to bring up the actual score, like box score. That is
false. Bro, you saw him bringing the ball up. Like that is.
That was
2 games in a row. That was 2 games in a row.
That's from 2 games. That's 2 games cumulative.
No. I'm saying that means that is something they want him to do. I told you they're trying to make him the new Giannis, bro.
Here's the thing: they lost.
Oh my God, it's real.
It is real. And they lost to the Pistons. He did this against the Pistons, without Giannis. Without Giannis.
No.
Okay. So here's my whole thing. Imagine this. Imagine Huck Porty wasn't on our bench, and a guy who could put up a triple-double against Jalen Duren was on our bench. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what the frick?
I'm gonna give you a very woke fan's take on this that wants to debunk all of this. He was a -20 in a loss.
I don't give a crap if you're a -20. You're against
versus the number one team in the Eastern Conference.
For real. Like, your team.
I cannot believe he got a triple-double. That's insane.
That's
Holy crap.
Thank you, Tom Thibodeau. Appreciate everything you've done.
My gonna be on fire tonight because of this.
Man, imagine if we had like a bench that we played against, and it was all the players that we traded, and it was like Grimes, like not like the RJs who had all their time, you know, but like if we played a bench of Jericho, Grimes, friggin' quickly,
yep.
Yeah, bro, we might get torched.
In my list of things that I didn't need on a Wednesday night, I think Jericho Sims getting a triple-double might have been at the top of the list.
And he had the most minutes by far out of everyone that played on his team.
Facts, Mr. Die Pistons. All right, so my concern, actually, I'll go to you, Brett. All right, before I go, what concerns do you have going into the playoffs? And is there any team that you're like, no, let's try to dodge that?
I mean, I'll stay out of like the first round, just to assume that we'll make it past the first round. And I think to avoid Boston's the easy route. I don't love Cleveland. I think they have got some serious depth on that team. And they have at any given day like 6 or 7 guys that can go light you up. And that's the problem that I have with the Knicks, is that I don't think they have any depth. And especially when you get into these playoff runs and you get into these 6-7 game series, playoff series after playoff series, and if you're expecting to win the whole thing, you have to have some guys that are going to be able to hold their own and make sure that they can have some supporting cast around them, because these are long games and these are tough games, and you know, like, I'm not necessarily scared of Detroit. I don't think they have the playoff experience, and I mean, they can obviously prove me wrong, because you get momentum, obviously, and you can kind of carry it along with all these young guys on their team. But I do think once you get past that first round is where that experience comes into play, and I have a lot of concerns with the depth on the Knicks team, and especially if they were to go toe to toe with Cleveland. There's some big time players on that team.
All right. All right, I'll push back on the depth thing, because I think that with the return of Miles McBride, I believe with Landry Shamet, with the experience of Clarkson, Mo Diarra becoming, you know, more of a two-way player over the last few months. When I look at Cleveland, I'm not so worried about their bench as I am their offensive capabilities from a starting lineup. Adding Harden to me gives you new levels of offensive talent that Darius Garland had in spurts, but not in consistency. James Harden has had these offensive skill sets throughout his whole career. So I think that gives them, you know, a leap up for their offensive skill sets. And the things that have always him from being good in the playoffs is that he was the most powerful offensive threat in that lineup. That's no longer the case. Like, Donovan Mitchell is their offensive threat. James Harden is their backup singer. And when you have a backup singer who's the guy who's known for creating the step back and always falling short because he tried to be that guy, he doesn't have to be that guy anymore. He just has to be that guy when that guy doesn't show up. And that guy typically shows up more times than not, which is Donovan Mitchell. And Mobley, as long as Mobley doesn't fade in the playoffs, he's also a crazy offensive threat. He's had the history of kind of falling off in the playoffs, but if he doesn't, then that is a huge thing for them. But bench-wise, when I look at, Larry Nance Jr. and I look at Max Strus and I look at Dean Wade, I'm like, okay, those guys are fine, but I would definitely put McBride, Shamet, Clarkson, Diawara, Mitch definitely as more overall depth than them. It's just a matter of if our offensive guys do not spread it out like we did against the Hawks in the offensive skill sets, then they'll eat us up. Because if we stop Donovan, James can do it. If we stop James, Mobley can do it. So we need to make sure that we actually hold it down on that front. For me, I actually keep on saying, and I could be wrong, and I hope I am, I do not think that everyone's predictions of Detroit being too inexperienced in the playoffs, I do not think this is going to play a factor in any way, shape, or form. I think it played a factor last year, but Cade Cunningham gained a lot of experience from that last year. Like, he got the experience and he's played against us. And if you look, he's gone leaps and bounds as a player from last year. Like, he went from just being a good offensive and defensive talent to MVP talks. Like, to this guy's got to be, considered for NBA first team in this category and that category. So he's gone leaps and bounds. I think that he got experience against the team that is the other team to beat in that series. And he learned how they beat us. And if you look at it, we don't play too much different sometimes. When we move the ball, it's different. But when we revert back to the ISO ways, they can shut that down. And if you look, Duren was a rookie last year. He's not a rookie anymore. And in the last month and a half, he's gone from being, he's their defensive guy to the guy that's now put up 20 plus points in multiple games, back-to-back games. So he's become a different player. So I think, yes, there was a lot of inexperience last year, but I don't see that same inexperience this year. Tobias Harris, he's got experience. Okay. Grant Williams, they have experience. So I feel like they've worked those kinks out when it comes to the experience. I don't think that people, I think that people keep saying Detroit's lack of experience. I think that's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of fans if we're banking on not being the better team, but them lacking experience being why we win. I don't think that that's why we win. I think we only win if we show up as the better team on that, in that series. I don't think the inexperience is actually going to hurt them in any way, shape, or form.
But I think it will. I mean, last I checked, you're going to be huffing and puffing as you play these intense playoff games. And Cade Cunningham only has one lung right now. You probably need two to get past the Knicks. So with that being said, that makes me not worry about them that much.
A good team when your main best player gets injured and you start to fall apart. You saw that with the Pacers.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Lost to the Pacers, who really revolved around one player, which was Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, they lost Tyrese. They became a completely different team. Look at Boston. Boston lost Tatum, and they're still higher than us. So when Detroit loses Cade Cunningham, who's been their backbone, and they still go 7 for 10 in his absence, that's a different team. That shows that they can still compete with the best of them. And they're not playing scrub teams. They're playing good teams without Cade. It's not like they had the Wizards 3 times and the Sacramento Kings 4 times. They've played good teams, and they've stayed at the top of the list by a lot. So they didn't have much fall off. Okay. And so you got to look and go, okay, Tobias Harris is playing some of his best basketball in the last 6 years. Okay. Jalen Duren is a complete different player than we saw last year, and especially what we saw in the beginning of the season. He's a different player. Their team is just different. And so my whole thing is, yes, you need 2 lungs, but if you look when we played them, it always looked like they had the 2 lungs and we had 1. So we couldn't keep up with them. Let's be real. We could not keep up with them. So now if Cade's got one lung, that means we both have one lung at the end of the day. Now it's even territory if Cade's got
That's
one lung.
even. No,
All
it's
right.
even.
So you look, they have depth. That's the thing that some teams don't have against us, but they do. Isaiah Stewart can come off the bench and cause foul trouble for Mitch and for Cat. He can cause frustration. Javonte Green, he can go off the bench for 30 at some games. You know, he's got that skill set.
Jenkins always kills us.
Jenkins has been incredible in the last month. In Cade's absence, this kid has been elite. Like, they go to him first for interviews now. Thompson,
That's
insane.
crazy.
Like, insane. Duncan Robinson can shoot lights out on any given night. Kevin Huerter has been subpar, but he's got playoff experience. So in those bright lights, he's not going to crumble compared to a lot of other players. Paul Reed, same thing. He's got some experience. So my whole thing is, I don't really believe that, like, we can bank on lack of experience anymore. Because
so that's your team that you're afraid of, the Detroit Pistons?
That's the team to me. Like, I understand we beat Boston all last series. I mean, we lost to them all last year, and then they beat us, and then we beat them in the playoffs. I understand that's everyone's narrative about Detroit kicking our teeth in all year, but I don't think it's the same. Like, I don't. I really don't think it's the same. When it comes to this Boston game, what I'll say about our game tomorrow is, luckily, in the last 10 games that we've played them, we've beaten them 6 out of those 10. So that gives me some hope, some positivity of, victory for that. But to me, that's the team that I don't want to really see. I think that we now fare well against Boston, regardless of what some people think. Because I think that Cat fares well against Vooch, because Vooch is not a very physical center in any way, shape, or form. Vooch spends a lot of his time at the 3-point line. Where Cat struggles is physical centers, such as Duren, that can actually like put a body on you and can actually like make it hard for you to score or for you to score against them to score against you. Vooch, I don't think, does that. So I think that this goes to Cat's strength. When I look at Mitch off the bench, nobody's competing on their team with Mitch off the bench. Not happening. Okay. When I look at like their star power on the bench versus our star power, I think we have it. I think if OG and Mikhail play the way that they played the last 3 days, we make it very hard on a Jason Tatum that's coming back from an ACL injury. I think the main thing to look at is who guards Jaylen Brown. That's the main thing to look at come this playoffs. Regardless of whether you like him or not, he's going to be the factor of how we defend him, because we can't. We definitely can't put Jalen Brunson on him. That's for sure.
We can't put Bridges on him. He kills Bridges all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't guard him.
So who's starting next to him? Like, are we going to put Josh Hart on him? I don't think Josh is going to be able to hold him down. So I think that we got to actually be very, very wise in what we do. Honestly, to me, regardless of who you start, I think the best pairing defensively for Jaylen Brown is going to be someone like Landry Shamet, who like can keep up with him and can put a body on him. Whether he gets fouls or not, he's going to make it hard for Jaylen Brown to score compared to some of our other guys. So let's go into this next pour before we get ready to close out.
Hold on, Apollo didn't give his take, right? Who he's scared of. But before you go,
my bad.
Before you go,
you just keep forgetting about me, Phil.
Apollo, before you go, and Brett, you don't know this, but Apollo is from Charlotte. So Apollo, before you go,
I'm not from Charlotte. I live in Charlotte.
I'm sorry, he lives in Charlotte. That leads to my question: is it true? This is what I've been hearing in the Twitter streets. Is it true that the Charlotte Hornets are your second team?
What streets?
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with
you. There was a pause.
Whoa. I'm trying to what does he know?
I'm just messing with you, man. Respect to them Charlotte boys. They've been playing good ball, man.
They've been balling. And everybody.
Is that one of the teams you're scared of?
Me?
Is that one of the teams you're scared of?
No, absolutely not. Not
Yeah,
Charlotte. Not
me
Charlotte.
either.
No,
Me either.
I'm not scared. Not
So
scared
who
of
are
Charlotte.
you scared of? Who are you scared of?
I'm not
Or
scared
who
of
do
anyone.
you rather not see?
I'm not scared of
That's the
anyone.
same way. Yeah.
Um, I would say if there's one team that so the same way that I felt like we built our team to beat the Celtics, I feel like the Pistons after last year they built their team to kind of
Beat us.
beat us. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
The length, that they have, they're able to contain Jalen in ways that other teams can't really do it. And consistently too. I mean, every game we played this year, I think they blown us out, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about the last one. I think the first two were by 30, but the last one we didn't beat them this whole year. So I'm not saying that they're
But
going to beat us, but that is a
or
team.
there's a contingent of Knicks fans that are like, well, the Celtics did that to us last year, so I'm not scared
Right.
of them because
Right.
it's the
Right.
stupidest thing. But yeah.
And then that's exactly like you said. That played
It's
into
stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid, but like you said earlier, how the Celtics came into it like like we're gonna wax this team. We beat them all year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't want us to go into that series like that. And at this point, they shouldn't, because you didn't beat them all year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you shouldn't go in there confident at all. If you have to play the Pistons. So I mean, of course, the Celtics is a team that you worry about because of the talent that they have. The championship
pedigree for sure.
tested in pedigree. But the Pistons are actually built around this team. They built to contain a Jalen Brunson, which is why, like I say, guys like OG is very important to have a wing to not just defend, but to be very effective offensively with the ball in his hands, because if they're going to effectively try to take the ball out of anyone we play in the playoffs. Just the book is out.
What I would do.
Yeah, the book is out there. Like, listen, we're gonna put everything into stopping Jalen and making somebody else beat us. That's gonna be the game plan. You know what I mean? And why wouldn't you do that? You know what I'm saying? So anyone who can do that the best has the best chance of beating us. And I think the team that can do that the best is the Pistons because of how they're structured. So that's a team that I'm worried about in terms of just how they're built. But and the main reason why, and like to answer the second part of the question, in the concern would be the offense and how stagnant it can be and how it's not always consistent. And it goes from, oh, we're swinging the ball around, to, oh, now it's ISO. You know what I mean? And it's never consistently a team kind of movement with everything.
Yeah.
So
was that your concern coming into the season? The offense?
No.
Right? Isn't that so crazy how coming into the season our concern was the defense, and now our concern is the offense? Insane.
Which is odd, because we had Tom Thibodeau last year and he was supposed to be a defensive coach. So we came in now, we're a better defending team, and then we're not a good offensive team.
But I also think it has to do with, being realistic on the fact that, like, we were concerned about the defense, but the offense became more predictable because people had enough time to understand how things worked. Last year, it was still an anomaly for people on how it works with McHale, how it works with Cat. But over time, you started to see the same thing, so that's why I think it became predictable when we went ISO, was people started to go, oh, we know this. Like, this is something we are comfortable with. And so that's why I don't see Boston last year and Detroit this year as the same, because I feel like Boston came in a lot more comfortable than Detroit. I don't think Detroit acts comfortable or prideful. They haven't won anything yet. Boston had already tasted what it was like to be champions. And I think that they thought that that was going to happen again. So their foot wasn't fully on the gas. Detroit is hungry. Cade has something to prove. Cade wants to make sure, but Cade has a very rare and unique skill set in that he can prove himself while still making it not about himself. And that is a unique talent that you don't see very often in the NBA. And so he has allowed himself to elevate other players on his team. And I don't think that they are going in with the same mentality Boston did against us. I think they are going in saying, we believe we are number one, but we're not number one unless we prove we're number one. I don't think Boston felt like they had to prove anything.
I feel like we've seen these two teams. We've seen them display that hunger. Boston, we know they're hungry, right? And we know they're gonna bring that in the playoffs. I don't know if I've seen this Knicks team really display that hunger in this season. It's almost like they've been coasting and they thinking that they're just gonna flip the switch on in the playoffs. Is it just me that feels that way, or have you guys really seen them play hungry? Like, I don't know if I've seen that.
Those teams that you mentioned, they all play as one. You know what I mean? Like, they have, like, their chemistry is what's like. Is the Pistons a better team than us? No, talent-wise, no.
Yeah.
But their chemistry is maximizing their potential right now, and that's the same kind of thing that the Celtics have already had. They won a championship, so all they have to do is tap right back into that. They have the same pretty much core guys that they can get to that level. So that, I think that's what ties into it. These guys, our guys, from week to week, it's like, yo, they're on the same page, and it's like now it's like they're arguing, then they're sending shots in the media. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like they're not really bonded together. I feel like if this team can bond together like these other teams that you mentioned, they're the best team in the Eastern Conference without a doubt. You know what I mean? And look at it, we're coasting, not really doing what we're supposed to do, and we end up in third place. Yeah. So I think if
you could look at it that way,
yeah. So
this is what I'll say. I've seen a handful of games where we act like we have something to prove. Mm-hmm. And I think that the frustrating part is we have so much to prove. None of us have seen a winning Knicks team in our life. Like, we've not seen a championship come to New York in our life.
Uh-huh.
These guys, who are two all-stars to lead the team, and then a bunch of other people that could be all-stars on other teams, act like, we got this. No, we don't. Like, until we have it, we don't have it, you know? And so that, for me, I look at Detroit and I'm like, these guys are hungry. Like, the people that are going to eat the most at a dinner table are the hungriest at the end of the day. You're going to feast if you're hungry. And so you look.
That's how I feel,
Cade has no reason to play tonight. None. There's no team that can come and knock him out of the first place. I believe that if this team had secured first place, we wouldn't be playing right now. But these guys are hungry. They want to be the best going into the playoffs, and they don't want to take a day off because they don't want to rest. They don't want to be, too comfortable when it comes to their time to play. They already have to wait for, the playing games time to come, but they want it. And that's why I go, okay, at the end of the day, the hungry are going to eat. So if the Knicks don't act hungry, I'm not going to be surprised when Cade and the rest of the guys feast, because they're not going to stop. Like, they want this bad. Like, they want it so bad. And a lot of times what I see in the NBA, unfortunately, is people start getting distracted by all the celebrity stuff that comes with being in the NBA. You see Josh Hart, get your money, bro. But, like, he's in like 50,000 commercials, like, so Cade Cunningham doesn't care about anything but basketball. So when your sole desire is to be great at basketball and leave a legacy at basketball, it shows. So that's why I think that is a team that is hungry. Tobias wants to shut everybody's mouth about, oh, he's a has-been. He's not what he used to be. So he's playing like he used to be.
Let's get into this next pour, but I have some points about what you just said about, like, being all ball, because I think we have guys that are all ball, and I think there's something that brings that out of you that I want to ask you to see if you think that that's the case. But let's get
All
into
right.
the next point.
Before we go into the port, I know Apollo's got to go. He's got work early in the morning. Apollo, let
Yep.
everybody know where they can find you.
Guard up Knicks everywhere, man. Love that liquor. Lord. Yeah, guard up Knicks everywhere.
Guard up
Lord.
everywhere. Guard up.
Yeah,
Guard up everywhere.
gotta mix everywhere. Yeah, man, that's where you can find me in literally anywhere on all the platforms. So yeah, come holla at me.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
God bless.
Thanks,
Have a
All
great
right,
Apollo.
day.
Eddie, have a good night,
Later,
man.
No.
All right, you too, man.
All right. We're going to go into this seagrass that Brett has talked so much about tonight. So give us a little rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah, seagrass, much like cat is a unicorn. This is something that you're really not going to see in the market anywhere. This really kind of put Barrel on the map for different cast finishes. So what seagrass is that it's a blend of rye whiskeys. It's a blend of Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and Canadian. And it is going to be finished in rum agricole, which is sugarcane, fresh sugarcane distilled from Martinique. And it is finished in Madeira, specifically Malmsey Madeira. So Malmsey Madeira is the sweetest of all the Madeiras. And then it is finished in apricot brandy. So it is 3 different cask finishes that you never really see anywhere, all blended together. It is funky. It is like as cool and creative as you can possibly think of for a product, and it pulls you in every different direction that you can possibly think of with each of those barrels. So like the rum agricole cast, you're going to get like vegetal, you're going to get like some not necessarily sweetness, you just get kind of a lot more like vegetal kind of grassy notes from that. The Madeira, you're going to get a lot more of like that jammy, that richness, and then obviously apricot brandy is going to speak for itself for what it's going to pull together. But it's a roller coaster ride of flavor on this one.
Awesome.
So what I wanted to say off rip is I'm Dominican, so I love rum. So I typically like the rum finishes. Some people don't. I like the sweeter finishes, as Phil also knows. I love Madeira as well. And then what was the last thing that you mentioned that was on there?
Brandy.
Apricot brandy.
Oh, I love the apricot brandy too. I love all 3 of those. So this should be a home run for me. But what the heck does that have to do with seagrass? That confused me.
So I mean, I don't know how
is that just the name you gave it? Okay. That was like
so the founder Joe Beatrice grew up around like the coast of Connecticut, so he taxed the blending team to create a product that would be reminiscent of his roots of growing up on the coast of Connecticut. So they tried their best of ability to put something together that would kind of flash him back to those days, and it could be all hearsay. I mean, this is
no, the whole time I was thinking of seagrass. I'm like, this is gonna taste like grass. That's not like the most. That's not really what I want to taste in my burger.
No, it's almost a sarcastic play.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, Phil, I don't know if you still have the bottle of seagrass, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you look at the far right where the colors blend together, there's a tiny little Easter egg. So there it says batch, whichever batch that you have. So it has a tiny little number on it. So it has each batch of seagrass as they kind of develop over the years.
This is batch 11.
Yep. See if you can. I don't know if they'll be able to see it, but on the far right
there.
I can't see it. Oh, I see it. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there in the corner. So
teeny tiny Easter egg.
I love it. All right, let's give this a go. This is actually one of the first ones that I tasted of you guys and have been a fan ever since. So.
Oh, for real? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the gateway whiskeys a barrel. I would say Dovetail is a gateway whiskey a barrel. Seagrass for sure. Those are your top 2s.
Yeah. And apricot brandy is a huge
I taste the apricot
thing that I love. So
oh god, that's so good. Definitely summer fruity. It tastes like almost like the American light whiskeys that have been coming out. I get a lot of that, like kind of like nostalgia.
Yeah. Man, it's like juice. Like it is straight up.
So good. Oh, so
straight up.
Yeah, it's a
adult
cocktail.
juice.
It's you don't have to do. I mean, you can play around with it. Like you can make your Boulevardiers, your old fashions, and I mean it is what it is. But like you can put this on a cube and just be good
That's what I'm
with your
saying.
day.
You don't need to. You just put this on a cube with a maraschino cherry, and you're done.
There you go. Yep.
So good. Like it's got like, oh man. So definitely like a thing of juicy fruit. Like straight up peach or pear.
Peach.
Like
I got a lot of peach.
So it's kind of like those gums where it was like two color. Like they would come out and like half of it was this color, half of it was that color, or like you bite into it and it's the different flavor. I feel like that's what this is. It's like peach, pear, grape, little hints of wood and hints of spice, which balances out perfect. Because otherwise, it would be too sweet, in my opinion. But that like hints of the oak and the hints of the like pepper or cinnamon in there are seriously the perfect blend to all that fruit sweetness. Like, oh my gosh. Like if I could make this an adult gusher, that would be like the greatest snack in the world. Like
there's Kentucky Bourbon Festival. I don't know if you guys have ever been to it. But
I was there last year. I'll be there this year.
Oh, you didn't come by our booth? We had a seagrass slushy.
You did, I know. And
my god!
You guys have?
Oh, you had it?
It's a cult following. Like if you search Kentucky Bourbon Festival slushy, you will find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posts.
I gotta go this year.
Actually, as content creators, that's one of the things we do when we first get there is look for the slushy.
It'll be there again.
Don't
worry. We'll be there. Yeah.
Were you there?
I was there. Yeah.
Okay, you'll be there this year.
This is in September.
Again.
All right, heck yeah.
Yeah, September. I think it just came out the dates. It's like September 10th to 13th. I want to say.
I gotta make my way over there,
man.
Hey,
if you want to go, you can come up and chill with us.
It's a sight to be seen.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things to do. So the Kentucky Bourbon Festival this year, it's the 35th anniversary, so it's going to be big. It's September 10th through 13th.
And what does it cost to like go? Because it's like a 3-day thing, right? And I want to go to all of them.
4, yeah. It's not cheap. I know that.
It's not cheap, but for what you get to drink all day long for free.
Yeah, and you're getting good juice.
Yeah, so
it's worth it
for a regular person. Let's see. What is all these extra things? There's like so many other things you can buy that I'm like, chill out. Like, I don't need all that. Tickets, president. No. Bourbon enthusiast. No. Weekend taster. So it's only $225 for 3-day general admission.
Oh,
that's not bad at all.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all.
So it only gets expensive when you start joining like the VIP.
That's the thing that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say go to Coachella, $500.
Yeah, so VIP is like $795, but you get like pours that other people can't get. You get, but yeah.
Have you ever gotten that, Phil?
So I've gotten in as media. So I go as a content creator, and so I went last year with Dark Arts. Because they had paid me to do like one of my rap reviews of them and stuff like that. So I went with them. So that's as a content creator, that's typically how I get.
You probably were getting the VIP worth.
Yeah.
You were probably getting the $800 worth.
Yeah. So I was getting like the 15 and 13 year like limited pours and stuff like that. Access to buy them, but I couldn't justify $500 bottle everywhere. I got 2 kids. Sorry, can't pay $500 at every single booth. But no, this is absolutely.
I want to go back. This was amazing. It's so funny how you made this the last pour. Like I like how you curated the session today.
You know what's cool is this is a flagship product. So most people will wait till the end to showcase their new or limited drop. You know, you guys were like, no, our flagship is worth all the bucks, you know? And so
Yep.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah, and I have 4 new bottles that I need to go buy now.
Yeah,
That's pretty much
the nice thing with barrel too is that, I mean, up until about 2 years ago, everything was cask strength release until our foundation line, which is still created to kind of be like a cask strength product, but at 100 proof, and it's a 5 to 9 year old blend of bourbons. Anything cask strength is always going to be what you should seek, I think, as a whiskey connoisseur.
Yeah.
Because then you can just start cutting it, proofing it down, and get different flavor nuances that kind of get rolled into it. And I think that's what the beauty, one of the, not just the beauty, but one of the beauties of barrel is that you can kind of start cutting these. And once you start working with seagrass and you start proofing it down and seeing the brackets, like, oh, here's where the apricot shines, like, oh, here's where the Madeira shines, here where the Abricot really kind of like showcases itself. They're all these different cask finishes. You can see them all kind of blossom and open up on their own accords. It's a fun brand. All the products that they release.
I love it. I love it. So I'm posting the link.
I've actually never thought about proofing stuff down. Sorry, because my sister's father-in-law, who's a big bourbon guy, and kind of got me going into the bourbon thing. He gives you so much crap if you dare to put an ice cube. Or like he's like, you gotta drink it.
No way! There's so much joy. There's so much joy in seeing it.
I know if you drop like a water thing in it, like it definitely opens up. I've done it before. But he gives you so much crap. But he at least wants you. But he'll let you do the ice. But like he makes you at least taste it first, straight, neat. Like you.
I do that too. I do that too. Like because first you got to taste what it's like out the bottle. To then figure. So me personally, there's very little that I'll drink on ice because over time it starts to water it down. But there are a lot of bottles that I think with a dropper of water, adding a dropper of water will show you different kind of flavors. And a lot of times what I do is if I have somebody that is newer in the whiskey game that I really want to bring into the whiskey game, I know that some of the flavors might be overpowering, like the spice or the warming in the chest. So putting those water like drops in it for them is also helpful because it gives them the flavors and allows them to start buying in to the whiskey process. And then they can then over time not need the water. So for me, drinking neat is always my favorite. But there is a time and a place for that. And so you can't. And at the end of the day, you can't tell people how to drink their whiskey. You know, at the end of the day, like if they like it, they like it. You know, like that's their thing. Just like you can't tell people what tasting notes they have to taste because they might not taste them.
I did also have someone tell me, drink it how you like it. How you're gonna enjoy it.
Yep. Except over Coke. Like don't disgrace it. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. So real quick, I want to show these real quick because I want to add these to my freaking collection now that I've seen them, and I wish I didn't see them. So I blame you, Brett, and your team because I ain't got no money to be spending right now. What the frick? All right.
Well, seagrass will always be there at least. The nice thing about barrel is that if you can't get a product right now for whatever reason, there's going to be something coming down the pipeline that I can guarantee you'll like that'll be just as high of quality. So don't feel like you're ever forced into like, I need to get this now because it's only available now. Like there's stuff that's always been down the pipeline that again, like the reason why I love barrel is because the quality is always there.
Yeah. I love it.
So every single pour we had today was incredible.
I want this. I need to wear this at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. This is a freaking fire.
Zoom in a little bit because I can't see all the words.
Yeah. Let me zoom in.
What's it say? Blended up top, and then it says, "Oh, okay."
That's the shirt I'm wearing right now too.
So fire! I love that, and then this one right here. I want this right here. Keep it classy, but keep it barrel. I love it. This is fire.
We're not seeing that. We're still seeing the old one. The other.
Okay, hold up. Let me switch it up real quick. Stop sharing. Why did it do that? That's weird.
I don't have any bourbon gear. All I got is Knicks gear, so I got to start upping my bourbon gear.
This is clean right here. I love
like
that.
that. I like that color too. I like that
Yep.
color too.
Yeah, that color's fire. So shout out to them. Shout out to my guy Lee Escobedo in the chat from the Nick of Time show on this channel. Every single game in the post game, dropping the basketball knowledge that you all wish that you had. That's my guy Lee Escobedo. He said, "I prefer to play the Raptors. Knicks have yet to have a chill first round." Lee, if you missed it earlier, that's exactly what I said. Al was like, "I don't mind just dropping down," and I was like, "Basura, don't talk that crap." Like, we are not trying to play 7 games against the Hawks like we did the other night. I would rather kick the teeth in of the Raptors in 5 and be able to get rested for the second round.
Put up his other post. Put up his other post. The Brett's hat.
Oh yeah, he said,
Yo, so Brett,
Oh, nice.
yo, Brett. So we had Kimmy from Dark Arts here the other day, and
Bro.
she pulled up in all Indiana Pacers gear. We almost kicked her off.
Ooh, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
big no-no.
So
When I
you ever
got
think
super excited when I saw you with the Knicks hat. That's why if you didn't see
Yeah,
my
no,
reaction.
you cannot do that.
we
That's
do have a
blasphemy.
thing called enemy territory where we, bring on guests from other franchises. So we
No, she was
knew
cool.
I knew she was a Pacer fan, but she had the audacity to wear the Reggie Miller choke t-shirt on the show. And I was
Yeah.
like, yo,
Brother,
Kimmy,
choke
I'm gonna kill
t-shirt,
you.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So-
she was cool. She was cool though, but that was crazy. We
Hey,
had a
look at
bunch
that. He
going
said
on.
Raptors might be a sweep, Primo. Hey, I'm fine with that. That would be great. All right. So before we end, I want to let Brett talk and say, what kind of things can we look out for in this year? If you can give any nuggets of what Barrel might be working on or dropping soon.
Yeah, so there's 2 more of these red labels that are going to be released. There's going to be 3 of our black labels. So
Holy
the
crap.
MSRP on the red label are $160. The black label is a little bit higher end at $200 on the shelf. Those
what
are
are the
much more
red-
creative.
What are the red labels? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh, so this one
So
right here.
the red label is the
The 12
toasted.
you had tonight.
Yeah,
You see the
the
label?
toasted American. 12-year
And
toasted
what's
American
the
oak.
difference between the red and the black?
So the reds are always going to be 12-year-old bourbons that are finished in
Okay.
different casks.
Okay.
The black label, which we didn't have here today, are a little bit higher age statements with a lot more kind of unique and creative cask finishes.
And you got some blacks coming out?
Yeah, so there are
Nice.
2 more blacks coming out, 2 more reds coming out. There will be our New Year's bourbon at the end of the year, which is kind of like the culmination of all the states and distilleries that we're kind of sourcing from. And then there will also be batch 38 coming out at some point.
Nice. Heck yeah. And,
So
any
is that supposed to be like?
any hints on what that is going to be like?
I was like, yeah,
I have
that's
no-
supposed
I
to be
haven't
like
even- I
batch
haven't
37, but
Yeah.
a little better. +1.
I mean, it depends on who's tasting it. It could be better. It could be worse. I don't know. Different strokes for different folks,
Different
kind of
folks,
thing.
uh-huh.
But yeah, it's as I said before, like I've never had a bad product coming out of Barrel, so I look forward to every single release. I've never been disappointed.
These were fantastic, man.
That's
These
awesome,
were
man.
absolutely
So-
phenomenal.
So, Brett, where can everybody follow and support Barrel? And if you have an account that you want to promote as well for yourself, feel free to drop that right now.
Yeah, I think everything is available on barrelbourbon.com. The one thing that you have to make sure is hit that double L on Barrel. And so you're going to be able to find everything on there. And all I have to really say on top of that is just go Knicks.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Bro.
my man. This guy's been my favorite guest out of everyone.
I love being on here. You guys are the best.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you. Like I said, hit me up on Instagram. I'd love to talk to you about potential stuff for playoffs.
Yep.
We're trying to figure out how we all are in the same place.
If
same
we
time.
make the finals, Brett's got to have a slot in the finals.
Oh yeah,
Done.
oh yeah, for sure.
Gotta
So
have
we're
a slot
definitely-
for the Knicks fan.
All right, so all right, I'm gonna put your boss on the chopping table here. All right, so if the Knicks make it to the playoffs,
To the
I mean,
finals.
to the finals,
Yeah,
to the
that's easy.
we have to have a Barrel episode that's all black label for the
Done.
finals. We
Done.
haven't been to the finals in forever, so it's got to
Say
happen.
less. We're
Come on,
good.
let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Thank you so
Deal.
much, Brett. Appreciate you, man. Now I'll talk to you
Cheers,
soon on
gentlemen.
Instagram.
Nice meeting you,
be
brother.
good, guys.
I'm gonna
You
follow
too.
you.
All right. So thank you so
Man.
much for Beryl for being a part of this episode. That was seriously a freaking blast. Brett is such a solid dude. I love connecting with new people. When we making it. All right. That's my guy.
Yeah, I like that energy. I like that energy.
I appreciate that. Hey, now that I know that there's a whole like 4 black labels waiting for me if I make it to the finals, like I'm gonna say that too.
Stakes just got even higher. Stakes just got even
exactly.
higher.
Now it's not just about the chip; it's about friggin' 4 black labels. You know what I mean? Shout out to my guy Lee Escobedo. That's my brother from another mother. Appreciate him so much.
I'm glad I asked because I didn't even know what that was, man. This was great, man. This was great.
It's a great episode. Al, let everybody know where they can follow and support you.
Yo, I am Semi-Auto155 on Twitter. Soon, I am going to change my name to Al from Harlem on all platforms, including my Instagram. Right now on Instagram, I'm something different. I'm like Harlem Bro _ Al, something crazy like that. But I'm going to consolidate everything. I really was going to do it this week, but I didn't do it because Lee tweeted me and put at Semi-Auto155 in one of his tweets today, a couple days ago. And so I was like, this is not the right time to change the name, but I am going to change it soon. But for now, Semi-Auto155. I do have another podcast called Nick Life Crisis that I do with my boy from college, my fraternity brother, actually. 2 40-year-old guys just talking about Nick's trauma. And we are both dads now, so we talk a little bit about dad life too. So you can catch me there and then catch me here, man. Let's go Knicks. You're on mute somehow. You don't look like you're on mute, but we can't hear you.
That's so weird.
Okay, got you.
Anyway, appreciate you, bro. Please support Al and everything he does. Me at Knicks Nightcap everywhere. Just follow, support. Also I'll put it in the chat because it's spelled a little bit different. But if you are someone that is interested more in whiskey, this is my content creation channel for all things whiskey. It's at That's the Spirit, missing the vowels in the first and last words right there. Shout out to Xavier. He said shout out to the dads. Appreciate the love and support.
Yeah,
our families sacrifice a lot for us to create content. So shout out to them. We appreciate them. We love them. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to Al's baby mama and the baby for allowing everything that goes on.
She's really the MVP, man, for real, man. Oh my God.
Shout out to Apollo's wife for allowing this as well. We love you guys. Thank you for supporting us. If you can, hit that like button, subscribe button, take our link on YouTube, reshare it. It'll allow us to be able to continue to create more and more stuff. The more and more support we have, the more it makes sense for us to put our time and effort into this. We love it. We also got bills to pay. So anything, in the support category is a total blessing.
Yo, Phil, next episode is gonna be playoffs. We might not be playing, but it might be like playing.
Yeah. So let me look at the play-in schedule real quick. NBA play-in schedule,
which may not really impact us, right?
No, it's not going to impact us at all. But being able to look at what we have coming up. So,
but it could impact other people. Like the Celtics, you know what I mean?
This is perfect. So our show is actually next Thursday, and there is no play-in game next Thursday.
Perfect. Perfect.
So next Thursday we will be on an episode with Pinhook Whiskey, showcasing some of their stuff, which I'm really excited about. So make sure you tune in next Thursday, 8 p.m. right here. And then after that, we know the playoffs start. So we will be doing our show Wednesday or Thursday, depending on what our schedule is for that series. We'll never go on live when there is a game. Luckily for us, there's no back-to-backs. So it'll either be Wednesday or Thursday at 8 p.m. whenever we do not have games. We have some amazing brands joining us. So we appreciate you guys. If you drank and you're driving, please make sure to drink responsibly. Make sure that, that this is something that you enjoy the craft, and not something that gets you into trouble. Because that's what we're trying to showcase here is good whiskey is meant to be enjoyed, not abused.
Hey, one other thing that you never say, Phil, is if you have a bourbon brand or distillery that you would like us to feature, please comment that so that we could try to reach out to them and try to get them as a feature.
Yeah. So it looks like we only have one spot left through the playoffs, which is crazy because we have guests through the end of the finals. We actually have our last episode, which will be after the last game of the finals. Even if we get taken out before then, which I do not believe we will still be chopping it up, talking NBA, talking finals, talking what Knicks can do in the offseason. So we are going to make sure that you guys, have that. And so we'll close with this. Do you have a playoffs hot take? Ooh, all right. I'll let you go, Al. Do you have a playoffs hot take?
Here's my hot take. The basketball gods, for some reason, bestow all their good energies on Boston. That's why I don't want to play them. I want to just for some reason they always do us dirty. We have this, we have the what's Halliburton thing, we have it's just so many bad things they let happen to us. What's going on with the basketball gods? Please just let us shine. Don't give us Boston, because if it's us against Boston, the basketball gods are going to choose Boston because the storyline is so crazy for the story franchise. This guy comes back against a team where he lost his one Achilles, and now he comes back and beats them with just one half of an Achilles. The basketball gods are not going to look down favorable on us. So I don't want to see them.
This is what I'm going to say to that. All right, this is what I'm saying.
The basketball gods hate us, dude. I don't know why, but they hate us.
No, I'm sorry. All right, there's one God, and he's the Knicks fan this year. All right, and he's rooting for the Knicks. All right, there's one God, and he's the Knicks fan this year.
With you.
All right, shout out to my guy Raw. Appreciate you, Raw. This guy right here. If you guys don't follow him, that's my homie. I appreciate him so much. What I will say, my hot take is I don't think OKC makes it to the finals. That's my hot take.
I like that take though. I think.
All right. I don't think that they make it to the finals. When I'm looking at the standings, I see them versus the 8th seed, which to me, I believe will be the Warriors, because I feel like Steph's gonna find a way to pull it out with his experience. I think that they beat the Warriors and they go on to play the Rockets. I believe that they will beat the Rockets, but I do not believe that in the semifinals of them versus Spurs that they beat the Spurs. I think the Spurs make it to the finals on the West Coast.
Now, I don't know how that shakes out, but the Denver Nuggets last weekend just played the Spurs, and that was the best game of the whole NBA season. I don't know if you watched it. It was incredible. And the Nuggets and Jokic took it to these guys, man. But I do think, and I do hope, if the Knicks make it to the finals, I would much rather see the Nuggets or the Spurs, not because we've beaten them, but because if we get Oklahoma, dude, the whistle that they get is just it's insurmountable, man. You just can't overcome it.
To back my take, this is why I say it. First, yes, they won, but it was in overtime and only by 2. Okay. Only by 2 that the Nuggets beat them in that game, even though that Nuggets, played well.
I'm just saying they can compete with them.
They can, but what I'm saying is in 7 games, I look at
San Antonio got the better team. I like San
Antonio to me's got the better team, but I also look at stamina. I also look at stamina. Gordon's coming back from an injury. Jamal Murray has had injury
his
history.
calf was blowing up in that game too.
Yeah, Jamal Murray's had injury history. Jokic, as elite as he is, he's a slower player, and the Spurs are going to try to put the speed on them in 7 games.
Dude,
okay?
Hold on. At the halftime, they interviewed San Antonio Spurs player. I forget who it was, and the dude literally said, "We just got to keep attacking Jokic and putting him in action." I was
That's
like,
it.
I've never heard a player say that.
Yeah, and so to me, the Spurs in 7 beat them. And so I think that the Spurs can do that.
Legit. They're legit.
Honestly, of course, I would rather the Nuggets because we've beaten the Nuggets a ton.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Spurs are going to rise, and the reason I say that is because if it's them versus OKC gets the whistle because they're kind of the token franchise of the NBA. Okay, but when you have the token franchise of the NBA versus one of the token players of the NBA, the story of Victor Wembanyama, the fact that he's this alien, the fact that he's so young in his career and yet he's still elite, the fact that the Pistons are back to being what they were in the Duncan Robinson, David Robinson, days. That's a mutual story that they can easily sub out the OKC story. So I don't see the whistle. I don't see the whistle for SGA being any better than the whistle for the Spurs. So I think that the whistle for OKC is very, very prevalent when it makes it beneficial for the NBA. I don't think it makes it that much more beneficial for the NBA to take anything away from the Spurs. There's a reason the Spurs got the number 1 pick in Victor Wembanyama, because the NBA gets more ratings when the Spurs continue to be a legacy team. So they're relevant.
Okay, now that you just said that, you realize the last time we made the finals, we played against the Spurs.
I do.
So do you think it's going to be they're putting in the fix for the Spurs again, same old Knicks ha-ha joke, or the basketball gods and your God are going to give us that grace and give us the final victory?
So here's the thing. I believe that God is going to allow that to be the scenario. I think that this is where free will comes into place, and Karl Anthony Towns and JB need to actually play like freaking all-stars in order for us to win. Because Victor wants to prove
it wouldn't be great.
It would be anomaly. So I think that God gets us there. He takes us to the promised land like he did Moses. But if Jalen Brunson decides to strike the rock with a stick and not actually like do what he's supposed to do, then we're going to be outside of the promised land for 40 years.
That would be bitter. That would be super sweet. Like if we could beat the Spurs after they beat us in 99, bro. Because I was telling you the other day, I held a grudge against the Spurs organization for so long after 99. And the same thing with the Rockets, dude. I didn't like them at all.
Yep. So I think it's up to us, but that's what I think it's going to be. I think if we make it to the finals, it's us versus Spurs. But like I said, I digress. We appreciate you all. Support Al, support the Nick Life Crisis.
Peace, guys.
Continue to lock in with us. We will see you guys next week. And until next week, God bless. Peace.
God bless. Peace.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em a shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same page. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now.